Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Wednesday night. It is Xbox Nation night, and we are here. We are live. Sadly, Mooch is on vacation for this week, so no Xbox Nation for him, no Crossfire, and no M&C mornings this week, but everything should be back to normal next week. But I did get some fantastic people on the show tonight. First off, I'll introduce Dealer. He's back after a couple weeks, hopefully feeling better. How you doing, man?
Oh, man, I've been out rock climbing and doing go-karting and skiing, and now I've been almost dead. So I feel a lot better now from my triple bypass vasectomy, and good to go, man. I feel great and not really, and let's do it.
Yeah, awesome stuff. We got Hellhammer here. He's probably not even going to bot, but let's see.
Oh, yeah. I hardly ever bot. Come on, you're full of crap.
True. Exactly. Sounded good there, Hellhammer. We also got No Chills Noof. How you doing, bro?
Kaboom, baby. It's Noof Nukem in the room, Xbox Nation. Another Wednesday. Lots of topics to get into. Great panel, including some new guests who've been here maybe a few times before, but I've had the luxury to chill out with these guys tonight. Again, thanks for having me back on Crap. It's always fun. Stick around. It's going to be good.
Yeah, and we got Colt Eastwood, the one and only, the up-and-coming guy, the guy who told me that the PS5 is coming.
Fucking cocksucker.
I also told you that the Xbox 5 is going to be the next console, so there's that.
Yeah. Well, no, like, it's still funny. That video still shows up in my feed. Was it like 2 million views now?
Mm-hmm, with a good old Cerny on the front with it wringing his hands together. Like, excellent.
I love that picture, man. I've used it like about 10 times. But every time I see it, I think of this comment that Dealer made where he just kind of made this off-the-wall comment about it. Like, yeah, thank goodness for Colt, because now we wouldn't have known that the PS5 was coming. And so I never let that go. You know what I mean? It's funny, but it's always good to have you here, man. I'm a big fan of you. Everybody should go check out your channel, Dealer's channel as well, Noof's channel. And we got making his debut on Xbox Nation, although he's been on BGST for a little bit now, Chris Steele. Thank you for joining us tonight, Chris.
Yeah, thanks for having me. You know, I was sitting here thinking like I should say something really poignant and like really like cool and maybe even funny, but then fucking Noof comes in all hot. And it's like, I can't follow that. Hello.
I'm a hot and bothered. Yeah.
Hey, Noof comes in sometimes with something really relevant or a really good take or like something hot like that. So I'm glad he did.
Came
like
in
I
on
said,
fire.
Yeah, he's like, hey, it's Noof Nukem, guys. I'm Noof Nukem. And here we are.
Oh, you're DTF, because I am. He blew it up. I'm like a combination of Macho Man Randy Savage with a bad case of hemorrhoids.
Yeah. Hey, we got Def Jam Bam just jumped in.
Def Jam just jumped in here. What's up, Def Jam Bam? How you doing, bro? He's probably situating his mic and stuff, like not realizing how annoying that is.
Probably can't hear us.
Yeah, he's
fucking Def Jam.
His soundbar probably like kicked him out or whatever. But yeah, Def Jam Bam is going to be here. So it's going to be actually pretty cool stuff when he gets in here. Good guy. He's actually guested on the show once before. And I was like, hey, you know what? I'll give Def Jam another chance.
Oh, he's gone.
And then, yeah, and he probably couldn't hear or something. I've never heard a person have more mic issues than Def Jam Bam. Yeah, like seriously, I never have. But anyway, while Def Jam,
anybody that needs the podcast, Blue Yetis. I'm not plugging them. They don't pay us, but man, I love my Yeti.
Yeah,
Colt just got one.
Did you? How you digging that, Colt?
How do I sound, bitch?
You can tell by
sounds good, man.
You can tell by the
How do I sound, bitch?
I'm getting a man.
All right, we're off topic already. I'm sorry, Crap.
Yeah.
How do I sound, bitch?
How do I sound? Yeah. So anyway, I want to talk about Forza Motorsport 7. Some thoughts. There's all this loot crate stuff going on. I was playing it a lot more today, and I'm like, man, this game is really flawless from my opinion, and just the way that it handles the racing, the lighting, the weather. I dig it all. People really seem to be pissed off about this loot crate stuff, but when you look into it, these aren't even microtransactions. These are just everything you have to earn right now through playing the game and then unlocking these crates. So the more I'm playing, I'm like, okay, well, there are some crates there, but it doesn't really interfere with anything. It's like some cosmetic stuff or whatever. Like, I don't understand the big deal, but Dealer, you were kind of going off in the pre-show about it, so maybe you can like fill us in on what's going on and what are your thoughts?
For one, you don't have to fuck with the crates. The crates are entirely optional. You don't have to buy any. You can't buy them with real money. There are no microtransactions at the moment for the crates. And I see these idiots like the No and others making videos about microtransactions that don't exist. You know how bad that is, right? You make some videos about some shit that doesn't exist. It's really bad when you're searching for that kind of negativity in a game that's reviewing fairly well. They're really going out of their own way to search for this negativity on a game that's technically flawless on the Xbox One S. Runs great, more content than ever, more tracks than ever, each having dynamic times of day, dusk, dawn, rain on a lot of them, most all of them. Yeah. It's a really good game with improved physics in every way, and the crates are entirely optional. And as a matter of fact, when you take the money and invest it into crates, which you can do if you choose, keyword, you make money on this. Think of it as a way to invest into making more money. I've already made almost $1 million off of the stuff I've gotten from crates. So you don't got to put all your money into this. This is a way to boost your money through using more assists and of course, if you want to, you can get cosmetics.
You never have to spend like a single dime. It's all in-game currency. But if you want to, you can buy it.
You can't buy it.
You can't buy it. It's not available. That's what I'm saying. You're not the only one who thinks that because of these idiots making these videos. You cannot you cannot spend $1 of real money in Forza Motorsport 7.
The big problem with it is the way that Microsoft or Turn 10 implemented it as a whole. It feels very much like something you'd be able to buy as a microtransaction. And I think that just leaves a bad taste in people's mouth, even if you're not even paying for it.
At the end of the day, you can't buy it. And whether or not you can in the future or not, at the moment, people making videos about microtransactions in a game that don't have microtransactions in it, that's unacceptable to me.
That's why I thought what I thought by reading everybody bitching about it on Twitter and NeoGAF is the way that they made it seem is that it was all microtransactions.
Mm-hmm. No, there are zero. I need to clarify that.
We're talking about games.
There's only a credits option under each.
Bam. What's up, Def Jam?
How you doing, bro? Did I come to the wrong podcast? We talking about games?
Yeah, man, we're talking
no games. Come on, man.
No, come on, man. We're talking about Forza Motorsport 7, man. Forza Motorsport 7.
Oh yeah. Lovely game.
Yeah. So how you liking those non-existent microtransactions, man?
You know what? I can't comment too much because I haven't bought the game yet. I did play the demo. I want to get it on the X. I want to see how.
Okay. Well, once again, this is the last thing I'm gonna say about the game. Last thing I'm gonna say about the game because I'm really annoyed by this. Forza, it's a great game, and these people hammer this game, even though it has more content than every other racer this year combined. They hammer this game over microtransactions that don't exist. I need to clarify that one last time. You cannot buy anything in this game with microtransactions. There are no buttons to do so. There's no token system. It's all in-game currency.
Hey, I'll have to link this to you, dealer, because it's VG247, and this is the name of their type review / article. Forza 7 feels like a free-to-play game you paid $60 to play. I kid you not. Yeah, it says.
What idiots! I don't understand. So Project Cars with a fraction of the car, under 200 cars, and no upgrade system or anything like that doesn't. I mean, you paid the same amount for that, and you're not. I don't get it because the crates are optional. So that's all I'm going to say, man.
And listen to this. The battle against micropayments in AAA games is a lost one. We're getting dangerously close to a nightmare scenario where games cost money up front so you can have the privilege of spending more money later. Yeah, he called it micropayments, but there's no micropayments in there. This, my friends, is
well, that's called Destiny, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, Destiny does that, right? But everybody loves Destiny.
Why is this acceptable for this website to just flat out fucking lie?
You know what? I have no idea. It's VG27, and it came up in my feed, and I was like, what the hell are these people talking about? And they basically called like a free-to-play type model. Man, I wish free-to-play games were that.
By my account, and I'm car collector tier 8, by the way. Right? No microtransactions in the fucking game. Yeah, 8. I put a lot of time in this game. I'm Forza fuck. So basically, by my account, I've made millions and millions of dollars, wasted $500,000 on a car here or there that I don't even use. I got money now. Just do the campaign, and you're going to have a ton of money. Yeah. And I feel like they balance it a little more. 6 gave you a little too much money because they get hammered at 5 for not giving you enough. But 7's kind of right there. And if you can waste a lot of money on the crates, but they're optional. You don't need them at all.
Do you think the reason why people are complaining is because they don't want to have to go through and collect money now?
So they don't want to have to play the fucking single player to get money. That's their own problem. You know, I don't know what to tell those kind of people. And yeah, Colt, you're right. Credits. You can't use real money. Only credits. Only in-game earned credits.
You earn them, and then you can actually, when you get the mods and stuff, you help kind of double down and earn more, and depending on what difficulty level.
See, me, I actually came to enjoy the crate system now that I played it more, because I like getting the random shit that's in there, because dealer is absolutely right. You make a shit ton of money off of it, really.
Yeah,
if you got the money, boom, you want to buy a rare lucky card crate or a blue crate, you know, you can do that. It's kind of fun because you're like, I wonder what I'll get, and it's really bringing out the inner gambler in all of us, really. But
and I'm always like, fuck, I got some card that completely sucks in here.
I got that breaking one again. Damn it!
Hey, and just so you know, when you win cars and stuff, those cars still, you're not restricted by level. So of course, in this game, you got to be a certain car collector tier to buy that car. If you get it in the specialty dealer, which has cars for a limited amount of time and you can only find them there, or if you find the cars in a crate, then you can drive it, you can get it no matter what level car it is, and that car collector score will go towards your next tier. So it continuously buffs you.
Yeah, I actually like it. I think that the crates aren't, like I said, there's no microtransaction. I was looking, I was like, hell, I wish there was. I probably would have bought some. You know what I mean? I'm that guy because I'm lazy. So I would have been like, man, I would have, because
you're talking to someone who spent probably $50 on double XP for Gears Judgment.
I'm just saying, if you find yourself not having enough money, do not spend it on the crates. You know, because they are 120K or some shit like that. Just don't spend it on the crates.
So basically, what you unlock is like stuff for the cars, and you can unlock
driver suits, mods.
So then why are people making such a big deal about this?
This morning, I took my 100 credits and I bought one of the big 100 credit crates, and it gave me 3 mods, and I applied them to my races, and the payout early on wasn't that great, and I was like, oh, it sucks. I'll just keep my money and buy cars. I mean, it's just, when you go in the menu, there's just only credits. It doesn't. Are there even tokens in this game?
No. There are no. The tokens were the microtransaction part. And by the way, if you go to the Forza Hub, it's a button in the main menu. It'll give you 250K right off the bat in Forza 7 to play around with.
Yeah.
So redeem your rewards.
Yeah, so they'll give you your rewards or whatever, and I think that's incredibly cool. Noof, have you played it yet?
Just a demo. Haven't got the full version. I'm kind of like a lot of guys here. I'm just going to wait to pick it up on November the 7th alongside of my nice shiny new Xbox One X. So can't wait to get my hands on it. I guess after seeing how successful crates were in Uncharted, Turn 10 decided to bring them over to Forza.
Hey, but you know those crates is not good because it's on an Xbox game, so it's not. Throw that in there.
Yeah,
because they're green crates,
so
right? Blue crates.
Can't even ramp off of them even. So
hey, hey, just real quick, how many games, the big games that came out this summer and fall, have crates? I know that Wolfenstein probably won't have them, but you know, you got Destiny 2, Forza, Star Wars Battlefront.
You've had the equivalent in Halo.
Jumping puzzles.
You've had it in Gears. You've had the similar system in Forza 6. You've got crates in Star Wars Battlefront 2. Have been playing the beta. They've got crates in that. They're
acting like it's brand new. Yeah, it's not.
Uncharted started. Uncharted. I mean, what did you do? So they're everywhere.
Yeah, Uncharted. Actually, they had some kind of crates or something in some of the multiplayer and stuff like that before. Shadow of War will have crates. Assassin's Creed. I believe those have all had crates for a while now. Most games have some kind of thing like that. You know what I mean? Battlefront.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Crap, but Last of Us had microtransactions as well in the multiplayer, right?
Yeah.
And you never heard a fucking thing about that. And you got a game like Forza that was almost in the 90s. For some reason, it's not, even though it's the best Forza ever. And this doesn't even have microtransactions. Look, people in this panel think there are microtransactions. That's how stupid this is.
Yeah, exactly. So just to reiterate, if you're just joining us, the people complaining about quote-unquote microtransactions on Forza Motorsport 7 are thick in the head because there are no microtransaction in Forza Motorsport 7.
There's literally less microtransactions in this Forza than there was in the last Forzas.
Exactly.
Zero. There's no credits. There's no tokens. I mean, it's all just the in-game currency, the in-game credits or whatever.
If you got some money to blow, you can buy some crates, but that's with in-game money. So,
well, aren't microtransactions kind of made for suckers, like those people who just like to spend money on stuff? And I mean, that's how I kind of look at it as one of those things.
It's for working stiffs too, like people that don't have as much time as some other people.
What the F are you playing a game for if you don't want to put in the time to enjoy the game? Like, why pay to unlock a car when the game says play the game, have fun playing it, so you can earn the right to unlock the car. I just feel like it's a fishing line they throw out. And let's see if any suckers just want to throw some money in and buy shark cards for GTA Online.
Yeah, but you know some people are going to do it too, just because they don't want to spend all that time playing the game. So
there's a developer. He did that Gear Gauntlet game, Bites of Chicken. You guys might know him. He's on Twitter and stuff. He told me, he's like, yeah, man. He told me once. He goes, crap. He goes, I love, because I was pissed off about the microtransaction in Halo 5 years ago. And he goes, but crap. He's like, I got kids. I work. And then I code at night. He's like, if I hop on Halo, what's wrong with being able to, spend some microtransactions to get something that I don't have 30 hours to put into to get? So I was like, okay, point taken. I mean, I get it. As long as it's not really giving you an advantage in terms of, you know what I mean? Like what you're like, look, somebody that knows what they're doing with the tuning setups in Forza will have an advantage over someone that doesn't in the multiplayer, right?
Like me, I've already gotten several #1 times in the world with a couple of my tunes. So
exactly.
I mean,
so is that not fair? Are they going to start saying dealer can't tune his car now? You know what I mean?
Hey, but personally, I would never defend microtransactions. I don't believe in them. But if somebody has to use them, they got to use them. But the bottom line is, developers make a lot of money on that kind of stuff.
You know what? You kind of got to blame microtransactions kind of maybe a little bit on GameStop, where they sell used games and the developers aren't making any money off of the used game sales.
Well, they're going to be out of business here in the next 5 years.
Yeah, because everything's going digital. But what I'm saying is like, I think GameStop has a lot to do with this, and a lot of these people that resell games like brick and mortar stores. I think that kind of started the ball rolling, because when Xbox, for the original Xbox, I don't really remember too many games having paid DLC other than like Halo. Right.
Well, me and Colt were talking about this earlier, and I was saying that this is absolutely the reason that games are actually still $60 15 years later or whatever. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because these prices haven't increased, but game budgets have, and they're making up the difference. And trust me, they are making their money back on these microtransactions to mitigate.
A brand new NES game was $40 back in '88. I remember buying those games back then.
Well, the cartridges they had separate processors in those cartridges. That made those things really expensive. Some of them were $70 or more, depending on.
Kung Fu was like $55. I remember.
Like Star Fox had the Super FX chip, which made 3D polygon rendering.
I had to order Strider from Ontario for the Sega Genesis back in the day. It was $120 by the time it got to my door.
Jesus, what are you buying a Neo Geo with that kind of money? Holy Christ!
You get a warranty with that? God damn, $100.
Yeah, I know, it was crazy, man.
That's why Neo Geo failed, because their goddamn carts were so expensive.
Yeah,
they were paid unit. I mean, I get why that was, but holy smokes, the regular ham and eggers aren't going to go out and buy a fucking Neo Geo.
Yeah, and that was an expensive ass thing, and when you lose third-party support and have an expensive console,
and all Neo Geo had was their SNK games.
Yeah. So that's going to be.
Another thing you guys need to consider is these publishers are absolutely relying on microtransaction as a revenue stream. They're not hoping that people buy them. They have it factored in to the kind of money they're supposed to be pulling in to make up for development costs. Because Dealer and I were talking about this too. 4K is not free. It costs more time, more resources, everything that comes with higher graphics.
It's kind of factored in their revenue stream, kind of like how airlines now rely on those fees. Yep. Where it used to be maybe 20-30 million, I think now some of them make 4.5 billion just on the checking bag fees. They introduce these little things to just make more money in general, not just cover the cost. So
yeah, it's weird. Like, here's the thing: like, people in the chat are saying, "Oh, if Crap's defending microtransactions," I'm not. I will say this: I prefer microtransactions as opposed to season passes for maps. Because I saw how that worked.
Don't get them started.
with Battlefront 1, right? Noof, you'll agree that's a really good game. You like that game. The problem was they're like, spend $50. Like, you first of all, you bought a goddamn Han Solo blaster and it cost you extra money anyway, right? So it was like a one-hit kill for months, right? They're like, we passed it, and then you still get paid.
You spent $30 for that fucking thing, basically.
Yeah, so you basically spent $30 to get the game with this blaster, right? And then they're like, spend $50 for the season pass. We're giving 4 map packs. We're not telling you what maps, but trust us, we're gonna get 4 map packs. Well, their idea of map packs were, you're gonna play this map at night, and this one at the other side of the map. You know what I mean?
And then to top it all off, they sold you a piece of shit, half done, quarter done game in the first place.
Yeah, exactly, because they rushed it out to match the launch of the Star Wars Episode 7 movie, which is unfortunate. Now, Battlefront 2 looks amazing. I haven't had a chance to play. It's Darth Vader.
Yeah,
here
somebody went outside?
already. Yeah, we got
that.
we got Darth Vader.
We're starting to talk Star Wars and Darth Vader.
Hellhammer Vader was like
Hurricane's back to finish the job. Crap, you better run.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, Battlefront 2, which the beta started today. Noof, I know you probably played it. Maybe get some thoughts in a minute. But they're not doing those paid map packs anymore. They're doing some microtransactions instead. I would much rather have that way, because when you're playing the game, you don't have to divide your community. Oh, these people have the map packs. You know what I mean? Like, I always hated that. You know what? So, what is your thoughts on that game so far, Noof?
Well, I played a variety of modes today. The arcade mode, the versus mode. Basically, what's that mode where you're? It was like the Walker mode from the last game. That's back, but only this time you're on the Boo. Yeah, you're on that one, and you're escorting one of those giant tank things through the city. So I got to play a few game modes. First off, you can say the graphics are phenomenal, as we kind of expected and seen. It runs and looks really damn good, even on the standard Xbox One S, so that's a positive sign. A little frame rate hiccups here and there, but overall resolution and the game look really, really well done, really polished. Game style a little bit. It doesn't feel quite the same as the last one. There's a couple of little things that they switched up. I don't like the fact that you got to hold the B button to crouch, and then like you tap it to get back up. Like, it's kind of weird. But overall, I had a lot of fun with it today. Like I said, it looks good. It plays good. I think it's going to have plenty of game modes. It's got great factions. They got the classes back now, where you get some default weapons to start, and then you work your way up through it. So a little more reason, nor incentive, I guess, to stick around and actually level up your characters, that sort of thing. So far so good. My impressions are good, and I can only imagine that this thing will look and play even better when it drops for the X.
Yeah, I'm super excited to play it on the X. Anyone else get a chance to play it yet?
Nope. And this one has a story mode too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it has a story made by Jade Raymond's new studio, which she made Splinter Cell back at Ubisoft, and then she left Ubisoft and formed like her own studio for EA, Motive, and this is going to be their first game. They're doing the story, so that's going to be cool. And then you have the hell is that other studio that does car games a lot? They're doing the space portion, and then DICE is doing the multiplayer. So yeah, if Mooch were here, I can already hear
the game on the list too.
Yeah, I can already hear Mooch going, but crap, that's too many hands in the pot. When have you ever heard? Seinfeld, apparently. When have you ever heard of
What's
the deal with 3 developers? Guys, I don't know. It's like going out to a restaurant and ordering a steak, or but instead of a steak, you get a piece of chicken. Who wants that? I don't know. I'm not
some fucking crazy ass story.
Yeah, some kind of crazy fucking analogy. Yeah,
I played Battlefront 2, and I can speak. I agree kind of with New. The game doesn't look bad. It's really soft because using temporal anti-aliasing, which is very clear from the beginning. If you don't know what that is, if you play Battlefield 1 on Xbox One or even PS4, looks like you got a layer of Vaseline smeared on the screen, whereas the first Battlefront was pretty crisp for being 720p, right? They didn't have TAA. Now they do. It's really soft most of the time that I'm looking at it. But there are a lot of particle effects. There's a ton of foliage flying around in the air. That stuff is still there on the Xbox version. I actually saw somebody throw a flame grenade or something, some grenade that lit the leaves on the ground on fire, which looked awesome. Also, when the big hover carrier is flying over the leaves, they'll get sucked up in the air and stuff. That kind of stuff really surprised me. That's all CPU stuff, and they've made some real headway there. The frame rate is not locked at all. There's some hitching. If you're up in the air at any point, if you're flying around a fighter, you might as well just turn your TV off. You're seeing the same amount of frames. It's not, but it is just a beta, and of course, they're doing a lot more. So this game does launch in November after the X comes out, and
the 17th.
I'll be playing it on X day one. Looks pretty good on the base Xbox One, though.
What's the base Xbox resolution?
720, I can tell. TAA.
Okay.
And they do that just to get rid of jaggies, but you pay a price in terms of image softness and sharpness and whatnot. So,
well, if you remember
the Pro checkerboard 4K,
I would say anywhere from maybe 1440 or native 1800p. At the maximum, it'll be 1800p checkerboard at up to 2160.
Nice.
Well, the best part about this is I'm going to do a Capital Foundry when it's free on Xbox and PS4. I'm going to download both, so I'll have an in-depth analysis. I got to put my nerd
How many
glasses
days
on.
early do we get it on EA Access?
We get it like I think a week early, so that's true. We'll still play it day one though because
you know what? If you have an Xbox One X, you'll get to play it on your Xbox One X for free. 10 hours,
exactly.
people.
Exactly. So I mean,
that'd be free.
I already got that bitch paid for, so I'm good to go.
But if you remember, the first one was called a blurry 720p. Remember, and so far we haven't seen anything like that. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. I like seeing some of the different things. Like, okay, The Witcher 3 got a update on the PS4 Pro today.
Oh, you mean the greatest game in the world?
The greatest game in the universe.
Yes, sir.
Hey, you guys.
True 4K. Oh shit, my bad.
You guys just made a new best friend with Hellhammer because Hellhammer's like, this game's amazing. That's his favorite game.
Yeah, that's the best game ever fucking made.
It is. It used to be Skyrim, and then The Witcher 3 came out and just blew my mind. I got something like 560 hours or more in that game.
Jesus, Chris, have you beaten the game?
I've beaten the main game, yeah.
Okay, damn it!
Like, there's still shit to do,
dude.
There still is shit to do. Like I don't know.
I'm like a level 54 or level 55 Witcher, so I'm pretty much. I'm not invincible, but I can really just destroy shit.
Bitches around, right?
Yeah, but if there's like a really big, like big ass monster, he'll usually like take me down. And I got to run away like a bitch.
That's like me with every battle in that. Like, and I've told this story before. I was playing it, and I told Helen, I'm like, I'm having a lot of trouble with this game. I'm getting my ass kicked. I don't know. How do you get health besides eating? You know what I mean? He's like, well, haven't you made potions? And I'm like, no. And this was after like 40 hours of me playing the game. And he goes, well, let me look. And I had made one potion, and I think I made it by mistake. And I was like, well, what the hell's the health potion? He's like, it's the swallow potion. I'm like, why can't it just say health potion? With a swallow potion, I don't know what that is. You know
I don't even want to know what that potion is.
Yeah, it's the health potion. There's something bad in it, I'm sure. But Helmer's like, just like when I was playing Forza 7 the other day, he was watching me, and I always do worse when Helmer watches me because he's always judging. So I was like,
I can imagine that.
I'm like, how come I can't beat these guys? And he goes, I don't know, because you're probably running into stuff and running off road more than them. And I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, because he's like mowing the grass over there, and I'm like, it's Forza Motorsport, not a
lawnmower. Fucking lawnmower.
Here's Crapgamer driving in Forza.
If you ever play against my Drivatar, I'm told that it does like ram people, and like I have seen it in people's clips where my Drivatar will just drive, like not turn, but it'll just go straight into like a fucking wall.
I've seen that before.
Yeah, like it just goes straight into the wall. Like not
every
even
time
trying.
I see dealers Drivatar, I just ram him into a wall as fast as I can. So I gotta knock that score automatically.
I ain't even thinking about that.
There's dealer number 1 in the world, ram him into a wall.
He's like,
yeah, but
get him.
They won't run close to the real time at that level unless you play one unbeatable anyway. So,
yeah, but like, did you see? So they did announce that it's 4K, or they said it supports 4K, which it's not native 4K. It looks like this is what was the specs on this dealer?
The analysis that me and Colt saw was an Gamer, which I'd heard from both sides of the aisle. PlayStation, Xbox guys, both kind of like, yeah, he's fair and balanced, whatever. His pixel counts came out to a checkable resolution. Somewhere around 1920 by 2160, which comes out to be just over 4 million pixels, which is right around 1440p, just above 1440p, barely. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to look better. Aside from that, he didn't mention any other effects added. There were no 4K textures added, no other textures added in that regard. Of course, when you increase resolution, you automatically get better texture filtering, so they'll look a little better at an angle, but other than that, it's a 130 megabyte patch. It gives you
140. You don't want people making an exposed video.
Oh yeah, I forgot. 140. It gives you around double the resolution. It's the same frame rate. No 60 FPS.
Yeah. So yeah, it's 140. Yeah, 140 megabyte, 1440p. Which Colt, when you asked this morning, what did you guess the resolution? I said 1440.
Yeah, that was the most of the.
Yeah, I said 1440 as well.
It's running at 29 frames per second on average. It's doing good. It doesn't have big drops.
It's a little bit above 1440. I think it's about 280,000 pixels above 1440. But yeah, I mean, it's going to look better, and Witcher fans are going to enjoy it. But if you want the real console experience for Witcher, you're going to want those better textures and stuff. Let's just keep it real. So it should come in around hopefully native 4K, if not around 1800p with much better settings on the X.
I really hope they do what they did with Rise of the Tomb Raider and have different modes.
Yeah. I mean, CG Projekt Red doesn't say they're not a lazy developer. So I mean,
Yeah.
given the difference in power,
But
And RAM, yeah.
Witcher is
yeah,
really
I guess.
it's really CPU intensive, isn't it, dealer?
Yeah, in the city. Yeah, that's
It's
why you
not-
see the
I
frame
mean-
drops.
That's the thing, though, right? Like, I would say that, but I've tested The Witcher on like a myriad of hardware, really, like ranging everything from like a GTX 970 with an i3 all the way up to my current rig, the i5 with the 1080. And honestly, like even in the city, I don't see much frame drops. I mean, if you just want to play Lock 30, I mean, I haven't had any issues playing Lock 30 on almost any setup I played on Ultra. With
And
it.
Hellhammer only plays Witcher 3 on his PC. That's the only PC game he plays.
Oh.
He might have 150 PC games, but the only one he ever plays is The Witcher.
I got
3.
like 500 games on my PC. On my
And this
library.
is what I keep
Wow.
telling people. People are like, because I was playing, the first night I was playing Forza, I played it on the 1080, looking at, because they confirmed, hey, Forza is going to be basically ultra settings on the PC with EQAA instead of FXAA. It's going to look the same as somebody playing on a PC at high end settings, right? So I was trying it out, and I was like, they were like, how's it look? You know, how good does it look? Is it going to look that great on the X? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, but you got to understand, Forza has always looked great on the consoles. It's always been 1080, lock 60. And this isn't the game you want to look at for what the X can do, right?
Yeah,
You're going to want to look at games like The Witcher and really demanding games that really weren't never designed to be run on these consoles to see what the X can do. Things like Battlefront 2 and games that are running at much lower resolutions with inconsistent frame rates are going to really benefit from those patches much more than Forza will, because Forza looks great on the S. That's why I've been playing it.
Yeah, I was telling Colt that because he was the first one in here. As we cross 500 watching, hit that like button, guys. I would appreciate it. We got a hell of a panel here tonight. Everybody kicking in, filling in for Mooch, who is away for the week, but he will be back. Yeah. So Forza Motorsport 7, like I'm playing it and I'm getting messages. People are like, no, crap, save it for the X. And I'm like, look, there's 6 championships. I can probably do 3 before the X comes out, and I'm good. You know what I mean? And I'll do 3 when the X, and like I'm good. Like the game is so much fun. I don't want to stop playing. I stopped
I mean,
briefly
it
to
looks
play through.
remarkable on the S. I'm
it
telling you.
looks really good, right? Like I'm playing on my new TV, and it looks amazing.
People think it's going to be night and day between the S and the X, and it's not on Forza because, trust me, I played on both basically with the same settings as the X, and I go to the S, and I still choose the S because it's just more consistent right now until they patch it up a little more. It's sharper on the PC/the X. But, of course, the textures and sharpness are going to be the biggest thing, but the S looks
I was
great.
having frame rate issues on my PC for some reason with Forza 7. I don't know what the hell the deal was, but
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I don't
interesting.
know.
Plus, Hellhammer, he's a new 4K TV person. KS8000.
yeah.
Woo!
4K
Yeah,
family.
yeah.
Now
He's
you
got,
gotta get
he's
your
got one, man.
4K makes you a better gamer shirt.
Should have sent it to Ryan McCaffrey.
You do. If you guys want the 4K, makes you a better.
Don't pick on Ryan.
If you guys want a 4K,
Should have
makes you
sent
better
it to him.
gamer
It's his
t-shirt.
job. He needs a 4K TV.
Oh, somebody should.
That motherfucker can buy a Tesla, but he can't buy a 4K.
Exactly. Tesla
Yeah,
probably
he
has
blocked me on
it.
Twitter.
Looked into it.
He blocked me on Twitter because I did that video about his tweets with the Rare guy, with the head of Rare, right? Because the guy was mad. I did a video, right? It's his tweets. It's his own thing. It's like he's a public figure. It's fair game. You know what I mean? There's nothing against it. He's got a little check mark against his thing. It's fine. But I guess he got back to him and he blocked me. And I'm like, oh, damn, man. Like, I never even said anything bad. I've never really commented anything bad to him on Twitter. He's just like blocking Crapgamer. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, I must be.
Well, the whole IGN as a whole has blocked me, the IGN account. And I don't and I know what it was. Back when last year sometime when like the Powerball or some shit was at like 500 million or something, I said what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy IGN and clean house.
They blocked him.
Wow.
You'll make it back still in all those PS4s they have in the studio.
And their Sony TVs, yeah.
You're like, I hired nobody, and our reviews are still more accurate.
I will say this: I got a Sony TV.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, look, Sony makes a quality TV.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and they make a good console. It's just I prefer Xbox.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How
No
dare
doubt,
you
man, they
have
do.
preference?
How dare you?
Yeah, you're not allowed to have a preference, bro. That's not allowed.
I
Yeah,
can't wait
clearly.
to get more DMs to tell me to kill myself.
Yeah.
Just like a woman walking into the store, she prefers always the Tampax. You know, it's the same kind of deal, right?
Chill.
Hey guys. So Andrew House steps down as PlayStation president conveniently a month before the Xbox One X. Out of nowhere, RKO. Well, no, he gets he steps down. I had some fanboy telling me, yeah, these things are cycles, 4 years, he's gone, blah, blah. No, that's what somebody told me. And I look at it on Twitter yesterday, and he's like, you don't understand how the Japanese are. They 4 years, that's about good. And, then they
4 years, and then they stab themselves with a sword. And this and that.
Well, I mean.
Harakiri.
Just jokes, frauds.
Yeah, it's just jokes. Calm down.
I thought it was
so anyway,
nothing tasteless about it.
It's
and I'm a piece of shit. So
so anyway, he steps down conveniently about a month away from the Xbox One X. I'm not sure that probably doesn't have anything to do with it, but he probably figures he's at the top. He's not going to get any better than this, with where consoles are and where they're going. So why not get out while you're on top?
He knew about this too months and months and months ago, right? I mean, he probably knew it back when they revealed the Pro, and you could see it on his face, a little leprechaun up there holding this fucking console that's half the size he is. And none of them look like they want to be there, right? None of them. So he probably knew it.
Well, no, here's the thing, right? Like, I did a little video about it, and then I did a little retrospective at the end with pictures of him. Nobody told me it was funny, but I thought it was funnier than hell. I did, like, little sad music. I'm like, here he is trying to lift the PS4 Pro. He's having a hard time.
I thought he was about to drop.
Doesn't the Pro weigh like 11 pounds or something?
It's heavy. It's heavy. Here he is looking perplexed at the PS4. I don't know, because if you ever seen that one picture, he's looking at it like, what the hell is this?
He's
then somebody's like, it's a PS4, dude. Oh, yeah, PS4.
He's like, come look at what we spent 3 whole weeks building.
I thought it was 2 vehicles glued together.
Hey, now don't come for the grill. Now that's a hell of a grill right there.
Hey man, like what is your guys' thoughts on this? Like, just curious. Like, maybe it does. It's not the end of PlayStation or anything, obviously. But
hey, at least you remembered his position. We covered this yesterday on RDX, and I couldn't even remember what the fuck he did. So
he's the president of. He took over Kaz Hirai's job, who went on to become like the whole president of Sony.
No, didn't Andrew House take over for Jack Trenton?
No, he took over for Kaz Hirai.
What was Jack Trenton's job?
Sean Layden took over his job, which is president of North America or whatever.
I think Sony's only going to go up. I think they're only going to go up from here. I mean, they've been doing everything well the past 4 years. They've been doing everything right. They've been just striking when the iron's hot, and this new guy is going to come in and just kind of keep going.
It's going to be cocky Sony again. They're going to shoot themselves in the foot again.
Well, the new guy has his. Rand told me the new guy has his background kind of in like online services and online type stuff. So you might see a shift in what they kind of do. I don't know. I think Sony haven't been doing everything right. I think as a Pro owner, I think the Pro was a misstep. It wasn't very well thought out. It's a resolution box for most of us, and I agree. I obviously agree with myself, but I hope those that are honest with themselves agree as well. It's just a resolution box, and it doesn't give me that experience that I know the X is going to give me with what's been confirmed already. It's just kind of like a short step. The PSVR stuff, very limited in its appeal, and they just released this new PSVR that's pissing people off. I'm sure we'll get to that, but I don't think they've been doing everything right.
I mean, guys, put it this way. Perception, okay, in this business or almost any business is sometimes as legitimate as the actual truth. I mean, we don't know the real reasons why he stepped aside, but I mean, he's obviously going to stay with the company. He just won't be at that aspect anymore. And, like we got to call a spade a spade. I mean, congratulations, Sony. You've done really well so far this generation. You jumped out to a big lead by doing what, essentially? Basically just having the more powerful box at the beginning. Really, since then, outside of having a stellar lineup of, again, third-party games and a lot of support coming out of Japan, they have done status quo for the most part. Outside of bringing out the PSVR, I mean, you look over the last couple of years, they let the freaking Vita pretty much disappear. PlayStation Now, I don't know if anybody's got the details on it, but I don't think PlayStation Now is exactly burning things up the way they expected either. Nope. They're taking a lot of flack from fans from various areas because of the backwards compatibility, a bunch of different things like that. So like Dealer said, they've been doing a lot of stuff wrong too. It's just been masked by the fact that they've been selling so well, they've been just kind of like shrugging it off, whereas Microsoft has been busting their ass in every aspect of their Xbox business because they kind of got off to that rough start. And I think ultimately, I think Sony is looking at this and saying we need a fresh start, because while sales are good, there's a lot of variants within now that are stagnant. PSVR, that's not lighting a fire. People got it, but it's not exactly the big seller. Come on. Sony loves to gloat about numbers, right? When was the last time they gloated about PSVR numbers? No, they haven't. They pretty much are not saying what they're selling. They're just, it's doing really well.
That's not their strong suit.
Right? And same thing. PSVR not selling overly great. You got Pro, which is kind of came out to a little bit of a sputter and has stagnated since. Most people aren't even talking about the Pro.
Here, Noof, than Xbox One X has a month before launch. It's gotten less patches.
Yep.
So think about that. That's all because of that dev kit. 97
supported Pro titles a year after release, and Xbox has just passed 130.
A month before release.
The month before release.
Yeah. And those patches on the X will be more substantial in every way too. So,
but look at that third-party support that just like came out of nowhere at the beginning of 2017. They put out some 30 games on the PS4 that are not coming to Xbox anytime soon, or maybe down in the next year or so. But they've had that going for them. But
they weren't supposed to come to PC either.
I just gave Sony a nice glowing review a few minutes ago before Dealer curb stomped me. But in actuality,
they're doing everything right.
In actuality, Sony looks lazy compared to Xbox. The Microsoft division for Xbox has been bending over backwards to give us everything we've wanted, except for some of those new IPs and those games, right? Yeah. But Sony's just got that snowball effect of third-party support just rolling in. They don't have to do anything. They're like the guy standing there, like, what'd you do? Oh, you put some money in my back pocket. Thanks.
The keyword being too, you nailed it. Third party. So that's stuff that could potentially come over, but probably isn't going to come over anytime
soon. Dealer? Why? I don't understand why some of those games from studios like Capcom, like why is it Street Fighter V on Xbox?
Sony Money had 3 wasn't on PS4.
Yeah,
it was a money hat.
Yeah, it's just kind of
Sony kicked that money out, so.
It happens. Sony had been doing stuff right, but at the same time, in comparison, aside from games, because this has been the worst year for Microsoft in terms of games, we can all agree. Next year, the first 4 months are better than this year.
Yeah,
pretty much with State of Decay, Sea of Thieves, and Crackdown alone, and then you've got most likely Halo 6 and all that stuff. So,
Horizon 4.
Well, I feel this is what a Sony meeting. I feel this is a Sony boardroom meeting nowadays. Hey guys, how we doing? Yeah, man, we're over 60-something million. We're just raking in the money. So why do we make this thing better? Throw money at everything.
You hear a lot of people
the 360 approach,
you still hear a lot of people say, well, 60 million sold to 30 million sold. Well, the install base is great, but their exclusives really aren't selling, gangbusters. Sure, they're selling 2-3 million. That's good, but the way that they talk,
a catch rate though.
But
the amount of the consoles that they've sold.
Yeah, like the way they talk, that every game's selling 60 million along with every fucking console sold.
So is anybody else in here surprised that they're marketing Call of Duty, Gran Turismo with these bundles that are slim bundles and not pro bundles?
I was surprised.
What the hell's up with that?
Yeah, that's a shock right there.
Well,
is the pro getting any bundles?
Not like console special edition.
Gran Turismo.
Is it getting is that Call of Duty a bundle, a pro bundle?
That's a slim bundle.
Have they had some pro bundles?
I couldn't see it. It was camouflaged.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
like it was the ugliest camouflage ever. Like
Xbox Pope made such a better one than that Sony did.
He did. He made a
better
one.
Somebody looked up that camo. It's a 1980s Chinese camo for a World War II game.
Yeah. So, wow. Like, good job, Sony. You guys are great. You guys are really knocking it out of the park. Let me see. PS4 Pro bundles. There is a PS4 Pro Destiny bundle. So Destiny 2.
Yeah. I thought they had a GT Sport one. But
I mean,
they might, but the stuff I've seen is slim.
Doesn't that speak volumes, guys? That Call of Duty bundle, which literally looks like a 5-year-old who loved his Army Men figures back in the day, slapped a sticker on top. I mean, like put some. It's Call of Duty, and this is the kind of thought you're putting into a special edition. And if I'm not mistaken, aren't they charging like more for the system? Like, what the hell?
Maybe someone can correct us in the chat, but yeah, I'm pretty sure the Gran Turismo and the Call of Duty, that's PS Slim stuff. I didn't see the Pro with a special camo or special paint on it. I just saw the Slim, so I don't know.
Hold on, I'm gonna tell you 1 second because I'm looking at it. It looks like a Slim bundle.
Slim.
Yeah, it's a Slim bundle.
Does Sony not want to put a $450 sticker on that box? You know, and be so.
They're putting a sticker on the Pro. It's called Betty Crocker.
God damn it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I guess that Pro ain't doing too well if they ain't trying to put no bundles.
I mean, if they're throwing a game in there,
that
you know.
GT Sport bundle is only in the UK.
What?
That's really odd.
Yeah, so
Racing's huge over there, though. You know.
Yeah, like I can understand that. There, in fact, I don't know. Like, I think that game's going to get some. Really bad
I think
reviews.
it's going to be very interesting on the 17th to see GT Sport reviews. Keep this in mind when you're watching these reviews, right? When Forza 5 came out, it had 230 cars or something. It had 15 or 17 tracks, and of course, all those cars were upgradable, all that good stuff. 1080, 60. Now they hammered Forza 5. It's a 79 on Metacritic, the lowest Forza ever, because of the lack of content, was what they said. Keep in mind, Gran Turismo Sport has 140 cars, no upgrades that I know of, 15 tracks. Now, let's really keep an eye on these review scores and see if they hammer it for less content than Gran Turismo 6.
How much customization can you do to your car in Gran Turismo?
None in Gran Turismo Sport that I found. I've looked on the forums. They don't know either, and if no one's shown it off yet,
So you can't do anything to it. You can't add like
there's
sweet stickers. There's none of that cool
now,
shit.
traditionally, in the traditional Gran Turismo games, you could upgrade twin turbo, all this stuff. The stuff we like. But in sport, nobody's seen anything of this that I know of. And just like Project Cars 2, you can't do it.
Gran Turismo Sport is gonna get a free pass based on the fact that it's called Gran Turismo.
It's not getting a free pass for me. Look, this game doesn't even have an online mode per se. I mean, an offline mode. Like, there's
Single
no real
player
campaign. Yeah, like
it better get destroyed. I mean, if all these things are true, and looking at the way the game drives and the dynamics, that there's no way this game should come close to Forza or even Project Cars. From what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I'm.
We'll see.
What's going to have a better Metacritic, GT Sport or the new Need for Speed?
It'll sell. I know that because it's Gran Turismo and they haven't had a racing game in a while. Aside from Project Cars.
Yeah, can you believe that this is the third Forza Motorsport and they've each gotten better that's come out, and the fifth Forza overall this gen, and there hasn't been one Gran Turismo yet, and there still hasn't been one yet.
Well, they say Forza's getting milked, but my rebuttal is, well, if Gran Turismo were pumping out games, iterative upgrades, and making you happy every 2 years like Forza does to Forza fans, then you wouldn't be complaining either, right? You would love a Gran Turismo every 2 years to add several hundred cars and new tracks.
Forza Motorsport is a motorsport game. Like, to me, the sport is right in it. That's like saying a baseball game each year is milked, or a Madden game, or an NBA game. People look forward to it. If you don't want it, they don't get it. Yeah, or call it whatever. Yep. You know what I mean? It's like some people only like the Horizon ones because they're arcade. Some people only like the motorsport. Some people like both. Like me, I love both. Like Forza 7 is the shit, but I also love Forza Horizon.
I'll be honest, Forza Horizon 3 was my first Horizon.
Did you like it?
It's a good place to start.
Yeah, it is. It is. When I first played Forza...
The Hot Wheels DLC was the best DLC this year.
Yeah,
that got downplayed, didn't it?
Well, considering, it got extremely downplayed.
Actually, I saw a lot of comments from Sony gamers that were just really cool when those videos were being put up, saying, "Man, I would almost go buy an Xbox One X just to play this DLC."
And then you probably saw people. Then you probably saw comments underneath that go, "Just play it on a PC."
Right?
I swear to God, whenever I see anything, it's just like I saw people on M4G, right? They're like, man, Cuphead looks so good. Maybe I'll get an Xbox One for this. And then somebody underneath of it's like, just play it on your laptop. Any old garbage laptop can play it.
No.
What I mean?
What I saw was, as soon as the Scorpio was revealed by Digital Foundry, like ever since then, everyone owned a beast-ass PC. And I could not believe it.
Everybody owns a $4,000 computer right now.
I'm going to take my $500.
No wonder the GPU prices are so high. Everyone's been fucking buying them, right?
Yeah, PC fans came out of the woodwork now since that happened.
Hey, PC players are on track, man. I'm telling you. But we totally went off from Andrew House to whatever the hell we're talking about right now. I don't know. Gran Turismo. Yeah, Gran Turismo Sport. And I didn't even have that on here. But by the way, they're doing another open beta on October 9th. for Gran Turismo Sport. So it's like a 4-day
while
beta.
we're on racing crap, I wanted to remind people, Forza fans out there, or those thinking about getting Forza 7, there's a fucking shaky cam on in that game by default. Now, some people like it.
There's two.
But if you want your camera to be like Forza 6 and every other Forza ever, not shaking around fucking crazy style, go to your options, go to HUD, turn off that motion, that camera motion. Not simulation, not normal. Turn it to off, and that'll give you the old style Forza cameras where it doesn't craze out on you.
There's two different shaky cams, one that's less shaky and
Yeah, just turn it off, all the way off. That's how I like it.
Okay, so Microsoft kills off Groove Music. That was their
no.
Yeah, I know. Here's the thing. I actually like the setup of Groove Music. It was implemented well into Forza Horizon 3. It was pretty cool. I actually have a subscription to that for a little bit, and now it's going to be, I think, worthless. But
for the next 3 years, you can listen to nothing now.
Yeah, exactly. Because you know what's up. Some goat hurt. Some
motherfucker herding goats is like, hey, my goats found some groove code. You want them?
Yeah, and I was like, sure. You know what I mean? But now it's like totally worthless.
I didn't even take him. He offered them to me. I don't want that shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, here's the thing. Like, I even saw people like Jez Gordon kind of get annoyed by this. Microsoft they're in a business. You know, I guess it just goes to show that Xbox is profitable and Xbox is doing good for them. Groove Music wasn't. There's too many competitors. A lot of people are like, what's your take on this? I didn't do a video specifically about it, but I figured it'd be a good time to talk about it right now.
Here's the thing, though, Crap.
Yeah.
With Groove Music, they weren't making that much money anyway. That's clear because it's going out this December 2017. Groove is dead. Why not say, all right, $5 a month, come on over. Why not try aggressive tactics? Because when you're making that little money, risk doesn't really hurt you that much.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, the problem is they're already making so little money. $10 a month is probably as low as they could probably lower without actually losing
try
money.
5 and see what happens. Just
you're paying for every play, basically, right? Like of an artist's song. I mean, even if it's only pennies really on that kind of stuff, I mean, it adds up if you have thousands, hundreds of thousands of millions of users. I mean, and not only that, but it comes down to a couple different things, right? So the problem with the whole thing with Groove is I actually liked it too. I liked the way it was set up and the way that the interface was and everything else on there. But there's so many competitors that are already so well seated. Mm-hmm. Pandora offers the same thing where you can download your music and search and play specific songs. Spotify, which is what the majority of people on Android
are actually partnering with Spotify now.
Yeah, exactly. And then all the people on with an iPhone or anything similar, iTunes and Apple Music offers the same kind of service. Well, most people recognize that far more than they do Groove.
I don't like the name Groove Music at all.
Yeah, I like that when it was Xbox Music. But apparently that wasn't good enough. You know what I mean?
I'm old school. I liked it better when it was Zune.
Zune.
No. I like the logo. The logo's supposed to be like a record, but
I had a Zune and it broke.
I was trying to use
and it broke.
I was trying to use Groove Music on Forza Horizon 3, and every time I would load up a game, it would play the same song at the beginning every time.
Like do your playlist or whatever, right?
Oh, it's like I had to hear this Rihanna song every time.
Right. Cole, you know you chose that song.
Yeah, he's like that's my jam.
Where's
right
my
there.
Taylor Swift?
Oh shit.
Yeah, I don't know, but like Noof, what do you think? Anybody else have any kind of comments on this Groove Music stuff?
I have Groove Music. I've been downloading some stuff to that program, and for the most part, I like it. I had no really issues with it. It was integrated pretty well, like I said, within some of the games and within the Xbox dashboard. And because, like I said, I'm primarily an Xbox guy, it just kind of made sense for me. You know what I mean? So now I got to shift all my stuff, I guess, over to Spotify at some point in time here. But personally, at the same time, I said this on Twitter, guys. Xbox, what? In one way, it's probably a blessing in disguise, because honestly, I wish that they just knock off with all the friggin' apps, give up with your damn phones, give up with the junk, and focus on what's starting to make you your money, and that is the games business side of the Xbox. I mean, do what you're doing best, do what's making you money. Take a lead from Sony and stop getting mixed up in so much crap, because other people do it and some other people do it better. So just focus in on the games, bring more to us, because that's what's making your money, that's what's selling consoles, and stop trying to be things that you're not. This is the problem with these tech companies. Everybody wants in on the piece of the pie, and there's so many pieces of pie that goes around. You know what I mean? So before it gets stale, so do what you do best. Focus on the games. Give us some more exclusives. Do that shit. Save your money. That's all I got to say, man. Yeah, go for it.
Hey, yeah, I can't disagree with
Sony's
that.
doing the same thing. I mean, Sony's got the TV thing going, that PlayStation View.
Yeah.
They're doing all those little things.
But theirs isn't even good. PlayStation View, because I looked into that. Yeah, it's not even as good as, say, like the Hulu stuff now, right? Because Hulu offers live TV as well. It's like cable, plus all the other shows that they have on there. You know what I mean? Like View is more expensive and doesn't have like the as good of content. So like their thing isn't even that good. I can't see them doing that very long. And the way they're aggressively advertising that View stuff, which I see it all the time now, like more than PlayStation 4 commercials is PlayStation View commercials, which, you know, just years ago, anything having to do with TV was forbidden, or so I thought.
Right.
Because gamers didn't care about TV. You know, all we heard was how Microsoft dropped the ball, TV, and then Sony was the one that had
literally came out with a device called PlayStation TV.
Yeah, PlayStation TV, PlayStation View. They did Powers. They did, you know what I mean? They have all these shows. They made movies. You know what I mean? So, and they're the ones that talked about this shit at E3, yet Microsoft were the bad guys. And so I always thought that was incredibly kind of biased and nonsense. Yeah, but
Sony showing Powers at E3 was awful.
Wasn't it? But still, Microsoft were the bad guys that year.
Kingpin walked out on stage.
Yeah.
You know what the problem with Microsoft is? Microsoft reminds me of Sega. They're always leading the industry with trends, and they get shit on for trying to start a trend, and nobody cares. But then when Apple comes along and does it, it's like, yay, Apple, you're so genius. I mean, their new freaking iPhone X is apparently a fucking Kinect. I mean, so, you know, but bravo to Apple. You know, you just took a Kinect and slapped it in a freaking cell phone, you know.
They certainly did, and I commend them for it.
Yes, hey, Mooch is probably, if he listens to this, be like, man, Noof hates Apple? What the hell? You know what I mean? Definitely not a Mooch maniac then, because Mooch will sit there and defend Apple like he defends Destiny fucking 2.
I will be on Mooch's side and defend Apple. That's all I use.
Funny too, because it's the same people are like fucking console wars, and you call Android or iPhone a piece of shit, and they fucking get their knife out.
I used Android for like 8 years, and I just finally made the switch to iOS. It was
fucking iOS. Every one of them remove the fucking steering wheels and then charge you for them.
All of them are pieces of shit. Fucking iOS 11 came out, buggy as hell. Fucking battery life halved. All of them are horrible. Android's had OLEDs for years.
Come on, dude. Google Pixel 2.
All of them. If not for iTunes, I wouldn't be a slave to either one of them.
Yeah, to be honest, yeah, dealer is actually right, because both are kind of shit. Really,
hey, I got a hurricane waterlogged Windows phone that's better, right? Am I right? Come on. Hardly.
Bill Gates doesn't even use a Windows phone anymore. Get with the time.
Hey, but speaking of Destiny stuff, Bam, you'll probably like this. Xbox owners are finally getting Destiny 1 DLC that was exclusive to PS4 3 years later.
Are they closing the Destiny 1 servers?
No, they're not closing them. You're still able to play those games.
They make it available to Xbox and then close the servers.
Yeah, like here, it's available to Xbox.
7-hour time frame.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Done.
Like, Bam, you're a big Destiny guy. Like, doesn't this annoy you that PlayStation gets exclusive content for like 3 years?
Yeah, I don't believe I don't believe they actually did a contract like that where they had content that Sony players had for about a year. Yeah. And now Xbox fans are just getting it now. That's kind of stupid. That's one. Thank God I won't be going back to that game.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is like there's even content now in Destiny 2 that Xbox owners won't get for over a year if they get it at that point, because they're very sketchy about it. They're like, maybe at the end of next year, but maybe after that. You know what I mean? Like,
and it's all fucking trash anyway. The fucking full game doesn't have real content in it, let alone this little trash content they hold out, you know?
I'll get Destiny 2 when it's called Anthem. I said that before.
Oh, hey, oh my God, if here with Anthem, yes. There would be a hell of a debate going on right now.
I like to just shoot shit for 3 hours straight.
It's hashtag fun. I tell you what, like crap. Listen, it's steak and potatoes and I don't know, some kind of wacky ass food analogy that he has.
What I gotta say about Destiny is Destiny hashtag fun, hashtag fuck them raids, hashtag fuck them jumping puzzles too.
Listen, I thought the game looked good, the story was interesting, and I started playing it. And then, of course, a hurricane knocked out the power for 8 days. And I come back, everybody's like light level 1 billion or whatever it is, and I'm level 2. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you don't exactly want to jump into the game.
You just
and play
saved
it.
yourself a lot of time. I mean,
I
the further
probably
people
did.
get, the more
Crap,
people
you
fucking
can't play
hate it,
that. You
apparently.
can't play that game by yourself. You gotta
Yeah,
play with
exactly.
You gotta
Like
have a crew to play
that's
with.
true. But the crew is all leveled up for the most part. You know what I mean? Everybody's like everybody's like, you got to really invest a lot of time into it, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Like,
Yeah,
Destiny,
all that
Destiny
shit,
was
dude.
Colt's favorite game, man.
Hey,
Crap.
Destiny, you're a Destiny fan, Colt.
Crap, I'll make a deal with you.
Dealer and I cut our teeth on YouTube bashing that game back in
Oh my
2015.
Oh man.
Dealer's like 12 years old back then. He's like, okay, I'm gonna do you like that.
Oh wait, he sounds like Mickey Mouse, huh?
Destiny. Yeah. I mean, teach their own, right? But I have just Activision in general. It represents everything wrong with Activision in that game. So
But
Yeah,
who cares?
like it,
Bring-
like it.
Oh shit.
I don't like it.
The biggest waste of money that I had this year has been Destiny 2 because I probably
Oh shit.
I probably
Every time
won't
you say
actually
Destiny.
have.
Mooch, I know you heard that somewhere.
Yeah,
Get 'em.
Destiny 2. Like I'm not saying it's a bad game. It's a bad game for me personally. Like
Yeah.
I would have much rather bought anything else than that. You know what I mean? Like I can almost imagine with so many games coming out. Like South Park comes out in a couple
We
weeks.
got some real games coming out this year. Assassin's Creed
Yeah,
Origins,
Assassin's
Battlefront
Creed.
2, all this
Yep.
stuff. So
Call of Duty,
drought's
which
over.
Yeah, GT
Yeah,
Sport. Can't wait to play that. Woo!
Wolfenstein.
GT Sport. Jesus. Yeah, Knack 2.
Hey, I heard Crapgamer wants to go all in on GT Sport. He wants to get that and the
He wants to
wheels.
use some
That way,
PSVR.
yeah, that way you can have the
yeah.
VR
Oh,
and
you
the
get a
wheel
VR,
going.
crap is in.
He'll be like,
Book
whoa!
Hey, well, no, listen, I can't do racing VR because I get motion sick with that.
Oh man,
Like,
you'll
I
be
just-
all in.
Well, that
I
was
closed
Drive
my-
Club.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, it was Drive Club, but
You
hey,
can try it game by game basis.
speaking of VR, so Sony does this, and some people are pissed off. They announced a newer PSVR headset with HDR pass-through. So if you guys don't know, when you hook up the one you have now, you have to unplug it and then plug in your PS4 to your TV if you want HDR because you can't get HDR to pass through. It's a pain in the ass. You know what I mean? So then they released this newer version that just has HDR pass-through, and they're like, okay, so the box isn't compatible with the older headsets. So you're basically screwed. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. This is kind of annoying, but again, this is not really unexpected. Yeah.
Why didn't they wait a year and come out wireless?
Basically.
I have no idea. Maybe they thought Microsoft was in a big hurry to do some kind of VR thing or something, but now Sony's out on an island pretty much by themselves.
I would have waited. I would have
Very
waited a
much.
minimum of 2 years. Did this and then implemented some kind of wireless tech because that's where the industry's going. We've already seen it. So
Yeah. Well, it is kind
a
of
year
pain
is
in the
kind
ass.
of short, right? You think so?
Yeah.
You just bought it last year. Fuck.
Yeah, $500. You know what I mean? Like, I bought mine this year and paid that. You know what I mean? Now they're like, here, buy another one for $500 because it does HDMI pass through or HDR pass through, and and you know, and it's like, oh, plus it's got like speakers in it or whatever. I don't know, but it's like the earbuds are fine for me, or yeah, or you could use the Turtle Beaches. Like either one are fine, but I don't know. It is kind of frustrating that they would kind of maybe they probably saved on parts and stuff too, so. That's probably part of it. But as a early, well, I don't even know if I'm that, or I guess I'm still kind of an early adopter. But yeah, it
You
does
bought
feel.
it before the new one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
A year is kind of a
Life.
dick move, though. It really is. You,
Yeah.
Like Dealer said, wait 2 years, push for wireless upgrade. But, you know, those people that just... I guarantee you anybody who just bought it last Christmas feels like they just bought theirs.
It's like coming out with the Pro and it didn't support HDR, and a year later they sell you a different one that does.
Yeah,
Doesn't support
or one that doesn't have a
4K
4K
Blu-ray.
Blu-ray
And,
player.
you know, of course, it's optional. Nothing wrong with that. It's optional. That's the best part. It's kind of like the Xbox One X. Who's it for? What's it? Don't worry about it. If you don't want it, you don't want it. It's optional.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't even worry
Right?
about it.
So I'm just saying, it's kind of odd. No major improvements, just that one thing.
Yeah, so that is a little bit strange. Like I don't feel like a certain kind of way like horrible about it. You know what I mean? I know some people were like really pissed off about it. Like I better get an upgrade or whatever. Like I don't know. Like you're not really.
I better
you're not
be
gonna get
entitled statement.
shit. Yeah, like
I
you're not
did
gonna
see
get
somebody
shit.
say class action lawsuit.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember you talking about that, Chris, because we were talking about it on BGST.
Yeah.
Will they drop down the price of the older units then? I wonder.
No.
Will that inventory go down?
They already did. It's like 50
Oh, they
bucks
did?
less or something, or 100
I
bucks
just
less.
figured they'd
yeah.
just phase it out and just keep it at
They
what
probably
it is.
are phasing it out, just like the original Xbox Ones, right?
So
Like
they
those
dropped
were
the
phased
price.
out. Those were phased out since the S. but there were so many left in stock and shit that they were like tons of them selling. Like they made a big deal out of it, like, oh, they've ended production, when the reality is they ended production of the original Xbox Ones a while ago. They just had so many piled up in like storage or whatever that you could always just find them, you know. So
I didn't see one in a long time though.
Yeah, well, I used to see them
every day.
Really?
Yeah, yours
Oh, the Xbox VCR
is-
you talking about? Nah.
yeah, VCR box. Yeah.
You'll see like 2 of them at the store. Yeah.
Well,
I've not seen one since the S came out. Just about over here. So.
Well, Chris, what you have yours because you didn't even buy an S, right? You were
Nah,
waiting for the X.
See, I didn't buy an S because I didn't have a 4K TV at the time, and I was like, well, for me, there was no point in buying the S. So I was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna wait for Scorpio, get my 4K TV, and that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Well, I can't blame you for that. But
Even
I
if you
did-
don't get a 4K TV, it's still worth getting an
Well, I
X.
got my 4K TV, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
your
sir.
Sony TV. Right?
That's right.
Right.
I got called a fraud by a couple Xbox fans. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, they could be brutal sometimes, right? Like, fraud.
I swear to God, I got a DM from some kid and said, you claim to be an Xbox fan, but you buy a fucking Sony TV. You're a fraud. And I
Like,
responded.
what does
to him.
Xbox make a TV, motherfucker?
That's what I said. I responded to him. I said, if Microsoft made 4K TVs, I probably would have bought one of those.
But either way,
Yeah.
get what's better. Like, who gives a fuck?
That's just
Even if Microsoft did make a TV and it wasn't as good as that new Z series Sony, get the Sony.
Yeah, like there
matters what
should
There's
be
no
like
OS
at
or
the end of the day.
ecosystem your friends are on or the game. It's a completely different.
That's like the
scenario.
people that give me super shit for having a PlayStation VR and liking it, right? It's like Jesus, you know what I mean? Like I
Oh,
play
you don't dislike
I
it.
know.
You
Oh,
love
video
it.
coming.
I play everything on Xbox for the most part. I enjoy VR.
Oh, you love VR. You're like, whoa!
That is true. You know what I mean? Like it's like this cool.
You're allowed to
experience.
own more than one brand. I got a pair
Exactly.
of I got a pair of Bose QC35s, and I got a badass pair of Audio Technica headphones. Like, what's good is good. There's no, like I said, no ecosystem associated.
Yeah, so like a lot of people don't understand that or whatever, but it's like for me, my PS4 is my exclusive thing for PS4 and PSVR. Xbox is my multiplats and the exclusive for that, obviously. So I'll probably even play PS4 even less once the X comes out. But yeah, for me, like it is a bit of a bummer that they do this. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so if you're, when the X comes out, that's where you're gonna play most of your games. You don't even need to worry about the new PSVR. You just keep that motherfucker hooked right up, 'cause you'll never touch that PS4 again.
I know exactly. So I haven't really played it much anyway. I did get the Solus project that I kind of wanted to try that out in VR, but hopefully, it's frustrating. I'm really looking forward and hoping that Microsoft does something with VR, which they did kind of announce that they're doing a Halo AR experience. Did you guys see that?
Looks cool.
God. Put that money towards
AR.
some games. What the fuck are you doing?
Amen.
AR, VR.
AR.
Well,
I
Master
mean-
Chief, he can only put this headset on. He'll do your taxes. That's a fun.
Well, no, listen, I agree with you, right? Like it is kind of a weird situation, right? Because they also bought AltSpace Virtual Hangout, which that's going to have something to do. You know that they're doing. It's like they keep buying all this weird tech, and now they're like, we got this Halo experience where your Master Chief come in next year or whatever. And you know they're just cooking up some kind of shit like a virtual hangout for
Just
Xbox
wasting
users.
money.
Yeah, it is. It's like this is that kind of thing that Microsoft does, where you're just like, look, Microsoft, if you want VR or AR, have some company do it. Partner with a company that's doing it, so you don't really got to spend all your own money and waste all your fucking time. You know what I mean? YS343
Figures,
doing
so.
an AR experience. They
No.
should be kicking ass doing a fucking Halo 6 game.
The problem is that anytime Microsoft gets another company or buys a company to do something, they always just end up shelving it. Look, right? Like Microsoft bought Skype, haven't done a damn thing with it. Nothing.
Hey, I mean,
Do what PlayStation did. Have like 343 make like a third-person adventure game. Have them do something a little different from what they know how to do, and see what they can come up with. See if they can come up with a new IP.
Let them make the game they want to make.
Yeah.
That's what I say. Because passion, you can tell when a studio's passionate about what they're making.
yeah, like
Absolutely.
Rod Ferguson,
Like
loves
Cliff
Gears.
Blazinski, right? That little turd. You know that Lawbreakers is not his dream game. He saw Overwatch. He's like, oh, Jesus Christ. And he went after it, right? He's like, money, money, money. Instead of making his dream game, now he's living in a garbage can, right? So
I don't know. His garbage can is pretty sweet with his pool and his water slide.
Yeah, that water slide was a rental. The bitch is gone now.
Cliff is like going through the drive-thru at Wendy's with Mark Cerny getting Frosties.
Mark Cerny. Oh, for a second I thought you meant Sean Murray.
Yeah. Can somebody do a meme or a GIF with Mark Cerny down in the sewer like the fucking It promotion? Because that
Hey, if you're really good, do the part where he bites the kid's arm off too. Spoiler.
And his voice would be like, "We have pros down here.
We've got half floats down here. That would make more sense, right? We've got you can float too. We've got Wednesday special half floats. Hey, somebody get on that with it. Knows how to do fucking Photoshop.
You know what? Put Cerny's eyeballs in the sewer, just like
you could do another meme with Cliffy B, right? You have a PlayStation kind of hanging out of the sewer, and it says 60 million install base, and you got Cliffy smiling.
Okay,
Now
Somebody get on that. That'll be too funny.
With Blazinski. And Mark Cerny's it. All right.
Hey, Cliffy B was talking today on Twitter. He's like, is there a better controller to play Cuphead on? He's like, the standard one ain't cutting it. And then somebody suggested an elite controller, so he bought one. And he's like, thanks for the input. Like,
really asked that question.
Yeah, he did.
He was trying to mooch for a free one. He was taking shit.
He probably
for one, he works in the industry. He knows all about the fucking elite controller. Secondly, that was all just a fucking little jab at the controller, and I have no problem with that controller. So.
Yeah, dude, the Xbox One.
The Xbox
Everyone knows it's the best controller.
The Xbox One controller, the even the white one that comes with the S is great. Some people like the standard one that comes with the S more than the Elite because the sticks are tougher. You know what I mean?
Well, for $35, you could go buy that Super Nintendo wireless Bluetooth controller that has the extra buttons, and if you can get that thing to work with Cuphead. But I mean, what did he expect? You know, if he's playing it on Windows, he's got to figure out whatever is. Actually,
he's got to blame something for his failures in Cuphead. Might as well be a controller.
Yeah, I mean,
that fucking thing is hard.
Hey, did he get past the tutorial?
I keep dying like lawbreakers in this game.
Yeah. Lawbreakers went down to like 20 players on Steam.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
no, it didn't.
20.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, it's not even making it on the top list anymore.
That has been
It's not even
time for that Sarah McLachlan commercial with that sad ass song. Lawbreakers in the background.
Hey,
you can play Lawbreakers and help feed Cliff Blazinski. He's hurting. He's in pain. And just show different pictures of Cliffy, like dirt on him and stuff. Like, oh,
that old PC Gamer cover where he's standing on the box and everybody thinks Cliffy was
on the plus side. On the plus side, Star Wars Battlefront 2. The original Battlefront 2 that just got updated for the online servers on PC has 2,600 players online right now.
Oh, that's bad.
20-year-old game.
Hammer, you ain't right.
Lawbreakers is at 116 right now. 116 players.
That's
Oh my gosh! Like Evolve was doing better than that, wasn't it?
Oh man,
wasn't Evolve doing better than this?
I think Battleborn on PC is doing better than that still. I mean, Battleborn, people.
Even still.
Battleborn.
Lawbreakers. What is this game you speak of? God damn.
And I don't even feel bad for the guy because he's like still rich and he's still gonna make games and things like that.
Yeah,
but damn, that is.
Go back
that is
make the game you want to make, Cliffy, not some bullshit.
No, you feel bad for his hardworking team that put tons of hours into it, and they're kind of taking a lot of heat for his bullshit.
Yeah,
and I'm only making fun of it because when I played it, I didn't have fun, and that's why I actually bash it. I wouldn't bash it if I didn't try it, but I just didn't have fun on it. And a lot of people
use the
enjoy
guy
it.
with the laser boots cult. I mean,
fucking laser boots. Come on,
laser boots. Oh wow.
What kind of acid was Cliffy in when he came up with that character?
Well, you know what's funny about it is he really kind of cut his audience in half, and I've said that before. And Jamie Moran like tweeted it out. Cuphead has all-time peak 15,712 playing it at the same time. So
on Steam.
Yeah, on Steam. So that's something. And also, the game sold what's close to 200,000 on Steam in the first 4 days. So you can imagine
nice.
it was #1 on the Xbox, on Amazon for Xbox One X codes as well for a while. So it's probably doing very, very well for them. You know what I mean? It's a real fun game. If you guys haven't checked it out, it's tough but fun.
Dare I say,
$20.
game of the year.
A lot of people are saying that, man. I wouldn't.
Yeah,
You know,
it could potentially be.
we're all individuals, man. I hear Hellhammer like, fuck, there, brr. You know what I mean?
Hey, the
Like,
dev did say they're working on online co-op right now.
yeah, like that would
Oh,
be
that's
sweet.
that's good.
Of course.
And
like,
yes,
the game-
there are those out there, crap, that didn't know that it didn't have online co-op. It's couch co-op only right
yeah, it's
now.
couch co-op.
Getting a patch, apparently.
Yep.
Isn't it
So-
harder with co-op though,
Yeah,
right?
because you're probably
Yeah.
an idiot, probably.
Yeah. So I mean, like, if you guys haven't checked it out, it is an amazing game. It's got great music. There's no kind of art direction like that. Just the whole nostalgic feel of the 1930s is there. It is tough. It is tough as hell. But the thing is, each thing is only a couple minutes long. So even if you die, you learn something. You know, so it's not like it's not like you're backtracking 3 hours like in a Souls game or something. This is just you just kind of learn as you go, and it's extremely fun game. Good for them. They got 2 games out back to back. They got Cuphead, and then of course Forza Motorsport.
I've
7,
had
even though
Cuphead since launch, and I just booted it up last night because I've been so into Forza.
Forza, yeah,
It's a good
so-
game, man. Their idea was if they had video games in the 1930s, this is what it would be like.
Right.
Yeah, because it's a lot.
You're
like
playing a cartoon. Yeah, it's
You
awesome.
are.
Basically.
Yeah.
For me, it was, like I said on BGST, it was like I was starting to hit a lull with playing games. Nothing was really like bringing me in. I kind of really wasn't having fun. I was just going through the motions of just playing something. And Cuphead really made me have fun. Like it's that old school NES, super hard but so rewarding when you finally beat.
It's just Contra.
Yeah,
Goddamn.
Contra with
Three
carrots.
Lives Code. Yeah.
It's such a good game, and for me, because I really haven't been playing much other than Injustice
I'm not
this year,
saying-
it's game of the year, man.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying
No,
that it's
no,
very
for real.
much like Contra. Like I really like the game. I think it's
Well, let's
great.
not forget Zelda came out and Resident Evil 7. Resident Evil 7 was phenomenal as well.
Wasn't
so-
Resident Evil 7 last year?
No, it was
No, it came out
January
this year.
March?
Yeah, I'm actually saving
Man,
that
I
game.
thought it was late last year.
I'm actually saving that game. I have it for the X because it's getting an X update, 4K, and all that kind of stuff.
Oh man, why don't you just get the
Yeah,
get the
me too.
PlayStation version playing on the VR so you can be like,
I
whoa!
am not doing that shit. Screw that. Hey, Hellhammer's won the talk. He played like a demo for some horror game and freaked out like through the headset. He's like, I can't play this.
Oh
The
damn.
guy got some little rabbit dude come up behind him and freaked him out. So it was funny as hell. Yeah, so I'm not the only one that freaks out as shit, Mister. Whoa, that's you too, bitch. Phil
Hey, you know what?
Spencer,
I did
go
play,
ahead, Bam.
I did play some of the Cuphead. Cuphead's pretty good.
Oh, Bam, you like it,
man.
but it's tough for you, man.
Oh, man, that tutorial, I couldn't get past it, man. I didn't know what to do.
That elusive
I felt
wild
like
button,
that journalist.
Hey, my
Sure,
6-year-old passed that in the second jump.
Hey, my worst fear was not fucking being able to pass that tutorial. And when I did it, I was like, whew, man. I was like, I just felt relief. And it was like so easy to do. I was like, who the hell wouldn't be able to pass this? Like, I don't understand the type of person that couldn't pass it, you know? But like, it totally makes you kind of wonder about these quote unquote journalists and what the hell they're doing nowadays. You know, obviously, not playing games, you know.
No, because they went to school to learn how to write, and they figured, oh, I kind of like video games. I'll write about that.
Yeah, it's easy. It's video games. It should be, you
People
know.
can write about anything, but if you can't play it, then
Yeah. Or you
work
use
out.
cheat codes, right? Am I right?
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
Especially on PC.
Yeah,
Oh,
you use cheat codes on
goddamn.
PC, right? Yeah, because
Shout out to the
that's what you do.
champion.
Yeah,
Did you-
the
oh,
woo!
You guys
Yeah.
hear that one of the devs from Cuphead made a statement to the press that it is not ever coming to PS4.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
that's good that they confirmed that. Yeah, because
Just get it out of the way, you know.
yeah, get it out of the way because you know people are just going to be, oh, I'm going to wait, blah blah blah. But again,
I'll just play it on
Mike-
my Beast PC.
Yeah, I got an $8,000 PC, but I still play my multiplats on my PS4 because that makes
Oh,
sense,
shit.
right, guys? Wait, I just busted all their fucking thought processes right there, right? I've got an $8,000 PC, yo. That's where I play all my Xbox games. I'm like, but where do you play your multiplats? PS4. But if you have an $8,000 PC, why are you playing your multiplats on your PS4?
Exactly. It don't make sense.
Blocks.
Going backwards in time.
You're fat. How about that? You're fat.
You're crap game.
You're crap.
No,
Your
they
name
say
is crap.
no. They say you're a fanboy. That's what it is. You're just a fanboy.
Yeah, I'm.
Hey, if you ever want to get a laugh, just look at Crap's comic section. That shit is just so funny.
Yeah. Make sure you.
Crap doesn't even look at that shit.
Yeah, put a fucking helmet on, get your gloves on.
You have a bad day, just look at
yourself in wrap yourself in a condom when you go in there.
Yeah, go in there,
You
man.
need to be in a fucking hazmat suit for that shit.
Bring a scrub
I've
brush.
seen the comment levels on Dealer and Colt's videos too, and the fucking level of stupidity is well out there.
Yes,
It is bad. It is bad. I gotta admit that. I don't really go in there anymore because I'm like, the fans, they know they can. The better place to reach me is actually on Xbox Live or Twitter or even the Facebook page, not the comments, because the comment section is just fat, fraud, exposed.
My comments tend to be pretty not really that bad actually at all, and really anyone who has a problem with that shit, just take it up with that link in the description, the source, you know.
Yeah, I do that too. I like link everything in there, including if you want to pre-order an Xbox One X. I always have a link there to the Amazon site. Well, they're out right now, but when they do restock them on Amazon.
Yeah, they've been out on Amazon for a while, huh?
Yeah, they get some more in some places, and then they sell out almost immediately. So I'm hoping that's a good omen or whatever. Phil Spencer in Tokyo, meeting with partners, having some tea, discussing some stuff. Maybe
Please stay away from platinum games.
Legs yet?
Yeah, have you seen? Look at these hairy bug
Got the
legs.
chopsticks ready.
You want that? We can. Oh, God damn it, Bam!
My bad.
I mean, hey, look, that's a food thing. That's like, you know, him. I don't know. He could be. Maybe he's having some. Maybe he's having a meal. Who knows?
I used chopsticks today when I went and got Thai food with my wife. So
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with saying chopsticks.
I got Bangkok
That's
shrimp.
perfectly
Just look, everybody.
Yes.
If anybody
Don't kill me
takes
now.
offense to fucking chopsticks, get the fuck out of
You'd
here.
be
Get off the
surprised.
internet.
Be surprised what will go on the social
I'll
media.
tell you a
You
story
said
about
fork.
that.
I said fork. Yeah, it's an eating utensil, just like chopsticks.
Yeah, it is. Like,
Hey,
yeah, he could be
I'm
over there
hungry.
breaking bread,
Right.
drinking some sake
Sensitive ass
with some chopsticks, eating some food.
Wait.
Get a little sakiyaki.
Talking to his
But
partners.
what kind of sake? Are we talking hot sake or room temperature sake?
Talking
I'm
sake
thinking-
faki.
Yeah,
I prefer hot sake.
he's probably hot, you know, like that.
Yeah.
Phil seems like he'd you know, the hot sake. Yeah,
It's
he's
a
over there,
gentleman.
he's like-
That's how a gentleman drinks his sake. It's with
exactly. And so he's over there talking to partners and stuff. Do you think they're gonna do some kind of? Is he trying to swerve and get some Japanese games on the Xbox?
Persona
what do you think?
5.
He sniffed out
Definitive
that
edition,
that
Xbox
Neo,
One X.
that Nio going to PC. He said,
Oh,
went over there. He's like,
hey, you know, PC is basically an Xbox One. You can easily just look. It's
Basically.
this.
Yeah.
I don't need to play
No,
Nio
no.
on the PS4 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I can
Right.
just play that game on my PC. I don't even need
4K,
the
60
PS4
frames per
version.
second. You know, ultra settings.
Time to
Yeah,
break
yeah.
some discs.
Hey,
I
like
guess it's
people
not
kind of
exclusive anymore.
people are kind of bad mouth. Hey, I did a video like that, right? Because look, it's only not an exclusive anymore if it's on Xbox and PC. If it's on PlayStation 4 and PC, it's still exclusive for some.
Well, you see, that's because you
unknown-
buy one copy on Xbox and you get another one for free. You have to buy, you know, that's why it's not an exclusive anymore, because that's pro-consumer as fuck. So
Oh,
shit.
yeah,
Who would've
okay,
thought?
so I got it.
Who would have
buy
thought?
one, get two, you know, progress, play with your friends, talk to your friend, you know, all that good
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is right, like what this does is this is another third party that did an exclusive for the PS4, but it's also going to be a PC. And most of the third parties actually end up like this on the PS4, like even Street Fighter 5, Neo, Hellblade. These games are going to end up on both, and in some cases will probably be on the Xbox One as well. And then
There are as many PC PS4 games as there are Xbox PC games. I already
Yeah.
ran all the numbers.
Yeah,
Freaking frauds.
yeah, fraud. Yeah. So,
I don't know
and
about
then
frogs,
also,
but they
if you
finally
look-
kill those damn frogs in Cuphead.
They do. Let's
Just
go.
roll.
They're gonna wallop you. You know. Yeah. Yeah. So like it's funny because if you count the third party stuff that's going to PC, and the fact that they run PlayStation Now on PC, and even though they're older exclusives, eventually the stuff will probably go there. It means it's only a matter of time before everything is playable on PC. But people don't want to hear that fact. you know, they want a damage controller or whatever. But I like that. You look, even if I'm not big into Japanese games, get more on the platform, make it more viable for people that hold on to the PS4 and go, I'm playing PS4 because they get those Japanese games. Well, guess what? If you could play those Japanese games better on the Xbox One X, why wouldn't you switch? Because if you're a true blue gamer, you're going to want to, like, and I totally can respect somebody that goes, okay, I was a 360 gamer, then I went to PS4 because it was more powerful, games played better. I played 360 because it played better than the PS3, and then I went to PS4. So if you use that kind of mentality, which there are plenty that did that, wouldn't you go back then to the Xbox One X because it's going to play much better? Like, I foresee a lot of people doing that, and I think the estimates that some analysts are going, like this one analyst was like, he predicted 4 million Xbox One X's sold between launch and the end of next year, and he predicted 5 million PS4 Pros in the same amount of time, which I call bullshit.
5 million people that don't know what the fuck they're doing. Holy shit.
Like I don't get that, right? Because I am thinking that the X is going to sell probably over 2 million at launch, like just by itself worldwide.
In the first year?
Yeah, like this year. Yeah, I think
I would say probably 500 to 600K around launch this year, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it could do extremely well. Like, I think, like, worldwide, just the amount of places that it's launching is gonna.
Isn't it in 28 countries?
28 territory. Yeah. Well, they call it territories. Is it? I don't know if that's like their. Yeah, same thing as countries.
I think the launch for the X is going to be a lot bigger this year than it was for when the original.
Yeah,
Xbox.
the original.
It's definitely gonna be bigger than the Pros launch was.
Yeah,
didn't it already outsell for all the pre-orders?
Yep.
Yeah, on Amazon, it actually outsold.
That was the first day of pre-orders.
Yeah, the first day it outsold the Pro for the entire year on Amazon. So, I mean, there is that. Plus the rest of the world. Look, the original Xbox One launched in 13 countries. This one's launching in 28. So I think it's really, really kind of it's Microsoft's, the ball's in their court. You know what I mean? Doing what they can. You know, the games are going to be better on there. I'm looking forward to seeing when they go, hey, we're going to get a Destiny 2 update. We're getting a Call of Duty World War II update. You know, here's Battlefront running on it. I think we're going to see a lot of that stuff.
I mean, we all know that. We know that stuff coming. But y'all think Microsoft need to put some more commercials out for the X, meaning that we're getting close to launch?
I'm trying to.
Or should it just stick with the Taco Bell and the...
you know, there are a lot of games that are confirmed for the X, like Battlefield 1, that aren't even on Major Nelson's list, too.
That's
so
true.
Just keep that in mind.
Yeah, if you look in the store, though, it says 4K, like on the Microsoft
or
store.
If it's private cars, it'll say 8K.
Yeah, or they took away the Doom thing for a while, and then they put Doom back as being a 4K game. So that's like Doom
just reappeared back on that.
Yeah,
on that list.
like I don't know,
just like that.
That's why I bought Doom. So hopefully they stick to that.
Oh, Doom's a great game too.
I'm pretty far. I'm probably about halfway in Doom, so I am looking forward to actually.
I only beat the first level, and then they announced. After I beat the first level, they announced that it was going to get an update, and I was like, I'm just going to wait.
I'm waiting for everything. There's no more fucking droughts for me anymore.
There's some people are doing that, right? Like they're like, I'm still trying to finish up. I got to beat Shadow of War or Shadow of Mordor before Shadow of War
that shit
comes
quick
out.
next week.
I started playing that a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for the X before I get Shadow of War though. So
yep, me too.
Yeah. So, because I want to play it on there, just I want to support it and stuff like that. But
just get on the PC version. You don't even need an Xbox.
I don't play PC.
Or better yet, just buy one copy and get the PC version for free.
Yeah, I can do that, but I would never even use it. Like Hellhammer would probably use it.
Hellhammer would be playing it.
I know he's always like, "Oh, okay, hook me up with the PC version of that." Oh, here you go.
Xbox version, and it just appears in your Microsoft Store games, and you're good to go. It's a play anywhere.
Hey, Hellhammer, which big holiday game are you getting? Because since we game share, which big game are you getting for us? You know.
Yeah,
probably none. Yeah, so it's like me. Okay, South Park. Okay, Battlefront, Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, Shadow of War. Oh, that's all Crapgamer. Who else? I mean, seriously, like I'm like the best fucking game share person around, man. Hellhammer, like,
hey, you all the games go see Crap.
Yeah, like last game that Hellhammer, he did get Mafia 3, and like
for $7 on sale.
No, he bought it new.
Yeah, I bought that. Right?
He got it new.
And the season pass.
Hey, Mafia 3 is on the list too, right?
You went all in on that shit.
I love Mafia 3. Mafia 3.
I'm waiting for the patch, man. Another example. Wait for the fucking patch.
Yeah,
so I got
go back because I got to beat the DLC
next summer when there's nothing to play, and I'm gonna run through it on the X.
Yeah. So yeah, just so you guys didn't catch up, Neo going to PC. PS4 loses another exclusive. Ha 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 ha.
They're gonna come out with another excuse. Yeah, it's coming. Watch.
I mean, yeah, it's funny. You know, here's a bit of good news. Gears of War 4 gets Xbox One X ready patch this month. So yeah, they're gonna update that, and then you're gonna be able to kind of download. I think you're gonna be able to do the updates and stuff like that. I think that's out now, where you can pick into opt to get the 4K assets and stuff like that ahead of time. So I think that is pretty fucking cool because I'm clearing out some space. I got to get me a new hard drive because the ones that I have right now are almost filled.
Yep.
Yeah.
By the way,
I got two 5 terabyte hard drives.
I'm curious about Forza 7's file size on the X. The Xbox One version is like 67 gigs apparently,
yeah,
and the PC version is around 95. So expect close to 30 gigs there to download for that 4K assets and all that.
Yep.
So I sure am glad I got an unlimited bandwidth.
It's like you're downloading a smaller game. I think that's all of Shadow of War on the Xbox One. It was about 30 gigs. Yeah.
Go ahead, Helmer.
We have unlimited bandwidth, but it's too slow to actually be really truly unlimited. So
yeah, they're like, hey, we're just gonna give them super unlimited slow bandwidth. Waiting. Yeah, hey, it took me fucking all day to re-download Halo Wars 2 once the new content dropped. It took all.
Why does Halo Wars 2 update like that? It makes you.
I don't know. You re-download the whole game every time. I don't fucking understand.
It never takes up any more file size. That's the weird shit.
Yeah,
so you got that PlayStation 5 speed.
Yeah, Killer Instinct was like that for me all the time. Every time a new update came out, it was like fucking like 60 gigabyte downloads. And what the hell, man, is going on here? It's like you re-download the whole thing.
Well, but download what, the whole game or just?
Yeah, no, like every time it was an update, I'd have to do like the entire game because like an update wouldn't be like 50, 60 gigs.
Yeah, it like overwrites the old stuff and it just re-downloads the entire game again. It's really weird.
It is
because every time you do an update with like, especially if you had like the free version of Killer Instinct and then you get the upgrade or whatever, like the title screen and everything changed along with it.
Yeah. It is. It's strange. At one time, my fucking old Xbox, my launch one, was downloading like all the games over and over again. And then I let Hellheimer use it, and then he broke it, I guess. But
damn.
Yeah, something about the hard drive.
Take that bitch apart to this day, and there's a chip in there.
Yeah.
Those OG X-Bones for Garbo, man. Those things
he's like my X-Bone broke. Fuck it, I'm gonna go all PC. Shit. I'm gonna go PS4 from now on. I swear this is what he says to me, right? He trolls me so bad. I'm like, dude, just use my launch Xbox One. I'm not using it. I was gonna box it up. He's like, okay. Then he comes back later. He's like, that one broke too. Same problem.
Hey, I don't know.
What are the odds? What are the odds?
I was like, what the hell, man? Like,
you gotta stop. You gotta clean the Dorito crumbs out of the
food. Okay? Hey, there probably is quite a few Pringles and Starburst wrappers in that thing. So who knows?
Probably.
Hey, I want to talk. Question for y'all.
Go ahead.
For the enhanced Xbox One X games, now the downloads that we're going to do for the 4K assets, do you think they would release them before the X?
Yeah, confirmed.
They are releasing them early. Like Gears.
A hell of a lot of games we're gonna have to re-download.
You're gonna get an update, and you're gonna be able to check a box that says "Prepare for 4K." And if your game's on an external drive, you can update that game's 4K assets before you get the X. So you can plug that external drive into the X and just play with no download.
Okay, yeah, because I got all mine on external drive.
Or you can just transfer over your local network if you don't have an external drive.
Yeah, fuck all that.
That'll be the smart thing for Microsoft. I'm actually glad they did something like that too, because that makes it easier for the consumers.
They don't want everybody like stuck. They want people to be able to play when they get it. They don't want to fucking sit there and download all that shit. So
I want to download games for like 10 hours.
Especially for the cornfielders, they'll be there for literally a day downloading a game.
Yeah. I'm gonna actually start. I'm gonna order another hard drive, and then I'm gonna start getting the updates like now.
The crap is going to take us to go to Amazon up to Starbucks.
I'm going to take it to Starbucks. Let me
by November 7th of 2018, we'll have the 4K assets.
Yeah, so I'm good to go, man. I'll be playing with like 2K.
Somewhere in the next month.
Yeah. So, this is a big thing, right? Microsoft in talks to extend PUBG exclusivity. This is sort of weird, right? Because last week, the developer did an interview, and he's like, yeah, we're in talks with Sony to bring it to PlayStation 4. Do you guys think this was sort of a ploy? A lot of people think it has to do with Fortnite. Or maybe they're trying to get leverage on Microsoft. So now it looks like they're going to extend the exclusivity.
Did we already know it was coming to PS4 though? A long time ago.
Well, I mean, like
a year exclusivity is what you could count on for the deal right now.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's what I would count on it for. Like,
but is it going to be a year from the final version or a year from when it goes to early access?
That's a good question.
Sony doesn't have early access, so who knows?
Well, maybe they were just trying to get Microsoft to pony up some more money or something. You know what I mean? Like, maybe Microsoft probably thought that they were going to have this thing from the end of this year, probably most of the next year, if not all next year.
Well, that's their own fault. I mean, they should have lawyers locking the stuff down. There should be zero questions in their head the second they sign anything or talk to them about anything or what's going on at all.
I 100% agree. Like, this seems like a no-brainer. Everybody's talking about PUBG. You've got your own ninjas over there.
They're using Rare's fucking water tech in the game now.
Microsoft is publishing it. They're advertising it. You got Mikey Barra streaming that game all the time. Everybody's talking about it at Microsoft. You got it on your goddamn elevator doors, you know.
Exactly.
And yet, like, this is the part where I get annoyed with Microsoft, right? So let's say they had it on their console only because it's in game preview, right? They did all this stuff, paid all this money, and then Sony gets it, like the legit game, like early next year or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, that to me is Microsoft funding PlayStation's version, essentially.
Yeah,
no, it won't be early next year though, because they've got their team in Spain, I do believe, working on the console version, and they're just not big enough to work on multiple consoles at once. So at the very least, when the X version is done, you're gonna get enhancements for the X1X, and then they'll start actually working on the PS4 version. So it'll be several months.
And then once the PS4 version comes out, we were the paid beta testers for it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like I hear that a lot too.
That's an excuse from salty people that wanted it, and that's the only thing I think of. So
hey, thanks for beta testing it for me. Xbox.
Like, thanks for waiting a year. I already played it a long time ago.
Exactly, like with Dead Rising 4, right? They're
or
like,
Rise of the Tomb Raider, they said that. It's like, what are you talking about? This is phenomenal. I ain't a beta test. It's fucking great.
Yeah. Oh, that fucking game is amazing. Hellhammer though. Hasn't played it yet, which he's like, I'm waiting to play it on the X, which is cool.
What, Dead Rising?
Yeah, no, Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Oh, it dropped 6 frames.
Yeah, it dropped. Just hit it drops.
Put a report out for that.
I'll just go get the PC version then. See.
What about uncompromised 4K? It dropped 6 frames. That's not uncompromised.
During a cutscene, it was only 2 frames during that.
I was playing on my PC.
End of the world now.
Yeah, well, you know what? Here's the thing, right? Hellhammer, as much shit as he gives me, right? You guys like the Tomb Raider reboot from 2013, right?
Oh, yeah, great.
Like, I played this game on PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, and Xbox One, right? Because I freaking love that game. Yeah, Hellhammer. Yeah, I played it on Crash. Yeah, I played it on. No, I like the game.
Was trophy hunting, boys.
Yeah.
Oh, trophy.
Right,
okay.
but here's the thing: Hellhammer, for as much shit as he gives me about achievements, he's like, yeah. He goes, I played the Tomb Raider reboot, but I didn't get any achievements, so I quit. And he's like, you probably don't get any, like 40. I'm like, dude, I got like 600 or 700 on it. You know what I mean? I was like, they come in bursts towards like after the first few hours because you get
a lot of it's for using like different weapons.
Yeah, like get 50 kills with this weapon or whatever. So I was trying to explain that to him. He's like, yeah, right.
50 rabbits. Things Lord does.
Yeah, skin like certain amount of animals or whatever. It's like super easy to get though. You know what I mean? Like you get like 600-700 just by playing through it. You think you get 100 for beating it. And yeah, that's Hellhammer's thing. But then he'll give me shit for bringing that up about The Witcher, where you sit there and play, you get 2 gamer score after 50 hours.
Hey, in that game though, you don't give a fuck. It's the experience.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I tell him, right?
Tomb Raider is an experience too.
It is.
Shit,
come on.
Oh, it is. Tomb Raider is a great experience.
Not even close.
They're not even Tomb Raider and The Witcher 3. They're not on the same level. I love both games, but you got to give the edge to The Witcher 3.
I'm not saying The Witcher 3 probably is like the best game this generation, but at the same time, there is a lot to do in it. It's
all time.
Well, I don't know if I agree with that, but I think it is a great game. No, listen, I think it's a great game.
You're Crapgamer.
But I can't even get into it. Like I haven't even beat that game yet. It's like so much shit to do. You know,
because you're bad at it. That's all your crap.
That's why you and really Witcher. If you stop playing it for a long time, you try to get back into it. You're like, what the fuck is going on? So, you're fucked, basically.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
I go through ups and downs with The Witcher, where I'll play a good solid, 30 or 40 hours, and then I won't play it for like 3 or 4 months, and then out of the whim, I'll just get back into it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I love this game.
Yeah. Well, the difference is though, is like you could do that if you've already beat it. Like you have like at least the main story mission.
Side missions and stuff, you need a little less context to what's going on.
You know what I can do if when the X version, when they enhance it, what I can do is like there's still a DLC that I haven't played. I can start the DLC over.
I'm buying the Ultimate Edition, so I get this fucking.
Or I can do that.
Again.
I can just let Hellhammer finally buy a game and then like play that. You know what I mean?
It should be on sale this November for like $20 for.
That's what I said. I am literally buying the first day that goes on sale. I'm buying that shit. I might even buy it before it goes on sale if it's not on sale before. Because I want to play that shit like the day the patch comes out.
And you know what's funny is I played The Witcher 2 when it came out. I got that the day one it came out on the 360, right? And I asked Hellhammer, I'm like, you want to play it? He's like, no. He wouldn't play it like for the longest fucking time. He just was like, no, it's stupid. Or whatever. I tried to tell him. I was like, it's a really good game. You should play it. No.
Well, and then when I did try to play it, to be fair, The Witcher 2 is a whole different ball game of game compared to
well,
Witcher
yeah, it's
3,
slow
right?
at first. The first part is super slow, and then
Witcher 3 is just better in every way. I didn't care for Witcher 2 either, really.
Like I didn't even finish Witcher 2. Like I've been meaning to go back to it just now because I'm a fan of the series.
It's back.
But it's like I bought Witcher 3 on a whim. Right, like it was literally like a couple days after it came out or whatever. And I was like, I'm looking for an RPG. I'm like, I'm just gonna buy it, even though I didn't like Witcher 2, and then I just never fucking stopped playing it.
Yeah. Wow. It's I think it's a good damn game though. Hey Noof, you guys got any thoughts on this PUBG stuff? Microsoft trying to extend it.
I mean, it's a good idea. I mean, personally, PUBG, it's a big title. It's popular right now. I mean, where it sits when the console scheme of things remains to be seen. But I honestly think based on our user base, the hype around the game, and the fact that it is coming out to the Xbox at least first, that it will do, I think, relatively well out of the gate. And hopefully it will have a long-term success as well with users sticking around long after sort of the new stink wears off the game. But, Microsoft should lock it down for at least as long as they can, even if they don't want to, go full exclusive on it, but definitely lock it down for longer, just because, it's, again, the whole point is they got to move consoles. You can't move games if you don't move consoles. And, what better way to move the Xbox One S or the X with a platform game like PUBG? I mean, it's huge. Like you said, Mikey Barr is always playing it. So, yeah, lock it down for a length of time, at least a year, maybe longer or something. But do something to make it stand out and make the premier platform to be on the Xbox.
Yeah, I agree. Bam, what do you think, man? Are you looking forward to PUBG?
Yeah. Is that like Division?
Oh my
yeah,
no, man.
No, but honestly, I think they should lock it down. The writing is on the wall. Shit, as much as Mikey Barr play it, he need to be in the meet room. Like, hey, what do we need to do to lock this game down, or as long as possible?
Pub Jesus.
Exactly.
Mikey Barr for crossplay.
I can imagine Mikey Barr is playing the game and he's like yelling over his shoulder, "Lock this thing down for a year, would you?"
Just give him an empty check. Put it on the table.
Yeah, you're Microsoft. Do it. You know what I mean?
If the PUBG guys did say go over and have discussion with Sony, I think it's like somebody alluded to. It's basically a leverage thing where maybe they stir the pot a little bit. It's kind of like when you're trying to sign an NFLer or MLB baseball player. They start discussions with other people when they're in that free agent phase. It sort of kicks the ball rolling and makes guys go, okay, well, they're kind of serious now, so we got to pony up the dough, and then they're just kind of waiting to see who throws out the bigger numbers.
Don't be greedy. Your game's already way more successful. They only expected it to do 300K when they were developing it, so you don't get too greedy. They're already 7 million, 10 million,
13 million.
some stupid shit.
And y'all think this is going to be out in November?
I think it's going to be out November, December, or something like that. Maybe
it'll definitely be on early access before the end of the year.
If I was Bluehole Studios, I would be salivating for that big install base on PlayStation as soon as they can.
Bluehole Studios.
That's 60 million installed.
Are you serious?
Well, we saw what happened to the last developer that was
they probably are, but here's the thing. I don't think PlayStation gamers are more into those single player stuff, you know what I mean? Or like
they love talking about that single player.
Yeah, they love the single player games, man. Like,
they don't really give a fuck about the multiplayer stuff, right? So
otherwise Gravity Rush 2 servers wouldn't be closing.
Oh,
Damn it, Chris.
Closing already?
Yeah, hey, Gravity Rush 2 servers are closing in January.
I thought that was such a great game. I heard all about it for
Yeah.
months.
Hey, yeah, like the 5 people that bought it are like,
you heard good things about it, huh?
Yeah, they're bitching about it. They're like, God damn it, Sony. But nobody cares because Sony's like, nobody bought it. We're shutting shit down. And then next year when the new baseball game comes out, we're shutting down the servers off the old one because we're going to force you to upgrade and buy the new one.
5 as well when 6 came out.
Exactly. So hey, they shut down everything. Kill Strain, that's a game that they're shutting down as well. That came out not too long ago. They do this shit all the time, but nobody cares. You know, SOCOM.
Yes. It's only doing a lot of shutting down lately, but I don't see a lot of articles talking about it. Seems
Well,
like every time Microsoft gets something shut down, we get like 1,000 tweets about it every day.
Hey, Microsoft isn't allowed to do shit like that. They can't shut anything down. They got to be for the gamers, like Sony. You know what I mean? Yeah, you gotta,
Yeah, I know you say you're not seeing the articles, and I wish we could call you blind, Bam Jam, but we can't. They're just not there. There are no articles.
Right, how right you are.
Yeah, there's none, and that is kind of sad. But yeah, stuff also kind of interesting. So Microsoft's, yeah, exactly, for the players. People hashtag. They also wanted to buy the right to the term PUBG. They wanted to buy the right to the term Let's Play, but nobody said shit. We were sitting there telling Boogie, Angry Joe, we're like, guys, are you gonna do videos about this? And
Boogie
like,
put out that awesome Vine. Hey guys, that's fucking bullshit. If Sony does that.
That is, yeah, he puts out. He doesn't bother. He doesn't bother putting that on his. Yeah, he doesn't.
Well, they
bother
looked at their analytics and they saw the little pie chart that said Sony cocksuckers and their subscribers. I'm like,
Oh my God.
no, we're not gonna make those guys mad.
Yeah,
he'd be wild in his videos. I've seen him doing a little video where he was breaking the Xbox 360 hat. I'm like, what the hell is this guy?
They hate me because I'm fat. How do they know you're fat? I don't know. They just know.
I'm like, yeah, we know. We can see it. You see
yeah,
fat, buddy. It's all right.
I actually thought the Francis character was kind of funny.
Yeah,
but I'm not a huge fan of Boogie in general.
I thought the Francis character was just sad.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I did it. It made me feel sad to watch it, and I'm like I said, man, I my sense of humor is just dark. But for some reason, watching his Francis videos just made me really sad.
To the light, huh? God damn.
Damn, that's funny as hell.
Up, yeah, you really do.
Hey, Albert Pinello said Xbox One X is its own thing, not a half step or a new generation. It's interesting. So this is what he said. It's its own thing. It's a new thing. That's what I think is cool about it. If you step outside the console, people are faced with the choice on literally everything. Why is there a 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder, 8-cylinder car? Why are there 2 washing machines? Why are the phones that are different sizes? Most people figure out what the value is for what they want to spend. It's only the consoles that have lived in this very fixed, singular consumer electronics mode. And that's why I think it's going to be it's not going to be as confusing for people as the industry is making it out to be. So
the only confusing thing is the media seems to treat this thing like it's the competitor to PS5. They act like it's next gen, but not good enough to be next gen. You guys get that?
Yeah. Exactly. Because Microsoft has said it's not next gen. It's an Xbox One, but it's like a maxed out Xbox One.
You know what I mean?
Extreme. Autobots transform and roll out.
Exactly. They got it.
Man, I wish they would have went with the Xbox One Prime.
Roll out. Xbox One Prime. Roll out. Yeah.
Well, hey,
listen.
I personally prefer the Xbox.
There you go.
That's what we should have had. The Xbox One. Yes, indeedy. Yes, the kind of system you can play games with. You can get your jizz comes on it. You can just have it all around good time.
And just then, I'm going to
stop it by, Cletus. How you doing today?
Yeah.
Hi, Cletus.
Hey,
It'll be your best friend.
YouTube's gonna love this video.
Now with built-in bro hole.
I know you guys don't like Francis, but that makes me wonder what people think of the good old Cletus. I'm sure they got high opinions when my back is turned. Yes, indeedy.
Hey, you know what? I like the idea that they're giving us options with this thing. They compare it to a phone a lot. You don't have to buy it. You can play the S version. Like I said.
Why? Hang on. That's something I wanted to tackle real quick too before we close the show out. Is the fact that the Digital Foundry threw this out there too, and I'm getting questions about it. Microsoft's mobile model for consoles, and I'm thinking to myself, Sony are the one who introduced the first iterative upgrade at 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Nobody ever said this about Sony, but Microsoft at 4 years give you not only a much more substantial upgrade, but give you more time with the initial console, and then ensure you that everything's going to be backwards compatible. you know, that's just a lot. Why are they referencing Microsoft with the mobile model, but not Sony when Sony are more guilty of this?
Because it's $4.99, not $3.99.
Yep.
Either way, it's still 4 years, and it's still the mobile model is every year, every 2 years. That's what they're referring to when they go to the mobile model. You know.
But the reason why they're giving Microsoft shit from it, honestly, is because it's $4.99. That's all it is.
Yeah, Microsoft is the bad guy right now, so you know.
Well, we knew that when we got videos about microtransactions and Forza that didn't exist.
They don't exist. Yeah, exactly. In case you guys are just joining us, and hit that like button if you are. Anybody that's claiming that Forza 7 has microtransactions is lying. You cannot actually use real-world money in that game. You earn everything.
And you don't need the prize boxes. Completely optional. You get plenty of money from doing the single player. Cannot spend real-world money for credits or cars in that game right now.
And there's nothing wrong with options.
And you don't need the loot boxes if you just choose your one of 3 bonuses for leveling up. You get to choose.
You don't need them anyway.
Credit pack. You can pick a car, or you can pick a driving suit. So if you wanted to totally skip loot box, you still get little bonuses. So
the loot boxes don't even have any. They don't even pressure you to buy them in the story, right?
Yeah.
They're a tab on the main menu, or before the race, somewhere in there you can find it. They don't even pressure you to buy them. So if you want to use them, you can to double your money per race or whatever. They don't cost real money. We've destroyed this early on. If you want to check out all that stuff, you can relaunch the video.
Is it true? Is it true what I heard that there's so many crates in Forza 7 that you can actually download DLC of Nathan Drake?
No, that is not true. You probably heard that from the know.
Yeah. Yeah. If you guys want to. The no, God.
Suckers.
Hey, did they say Anthem is coming out the end of next year or summer?
It was. They originally said it was coming out.
They said
the beginning.
spring.
They said spring, and then they changed it to the end of next year. So that's going to be. But it's going to have a beta.
It's going to be awesome.
Which game is that?
Yes,
Anthem.
Oh, Anthem.
I think that game going to have
Oh, so they did push it back to late 2018.
Yeah, it's going to come out probably around the holiday. That's
Why
probably
did
going to be
they do that? Like, oh shit, we need this extra 3 weeks to figure that out. Like, why?
Well, you know what? One thing that I do like is more and more developers are putting out their games earlier in the year, just for the fact that like people, it's proven that you know, and I guess that's sort of thanks to Sony in a way because all their games get delayed from the end of the year to the start of the year. So like it proves that people buy these games all throughout the year, even in August. You know, so
quality
like,
games are going to sell in general anyway.
Yeah,
Exactly.
like don't be afraid to release your games in January, February, March, April, May, whenever. Not just November and October.
The only
Gaming's
real
not
doom
a holiday hobby. Like I
Yeah,
like
exactly.
The
Like,
only
people-
really doom and gloom month that you don't want to release your game is like June or
November,
July.
October. Oof.
What the
Yeah,
crap?
I
I
mean-
play games then. I'm playing at night, so I don't care if it's nice outside. When the sun goes down, I'm playing games, so quit droughting me in the summertime.
Exactly. Like fucking look. Here's
thirsty,
the funny
bitch.
thing too. When Microsoft released Rare Replay and Gears of War Ultimate, those were around the summer months, and they did pretty well for them.
Yeah, they were in August.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't understand why there's such a stigma still that hey, we can't release our games any other time but October or November. Like a Halo, I get it. You want to release it around that time, or Gears, that's fine.
I think the reason why they don't want to really release any games maybe in August is because a lot of parents are getting ready back to school and kids are getting ready and you gotta buy new clothes. You gotta buy that sweet new Mickey Mouse T-shirt. It happens.
Well, back in the day, retail was everything, and of course during the holiday you got but more people are digital now, and I feel like they shouldn't be afraid to release.
Brick and mortar is
Digital
slowly
life.
going away.
Yeah, I believe it or not, man, I buy pretty much everything digital.
As soon as Amazon Fresh comes to my area where I can get groceries and have them delivered to my house, I ain't ever leaving.
Let me say this: if I was a publisher, I would pick,
drops off a TV to your porch.
Yeah.
I would pick one game to put out in June or July, just to see, because you have no competition. Like there's no games coming out June, July.
Fortnite did phenomenally, and it came out in July, I do believe.
Right.
Yeah, you know
That was
what?
a fucking closed beta.
7 million. They have 7 million players. 7 million on Fortnite.
On an unfinished game with no story, basically a free-to-play game.
Well, there's a story. There was a disease, and now there's monsters, and then you break things.
Hey,
and craft
hey,
them.
fucking put that Atlas down, build some shit. And that's the story, over and over, unless they've really changed some things. Right?
Well,
so
they got their
really
PUBG
well in the
ripoff
summer.
mode.
Yeah, now. I'm just saying, in the summer though, even though that game was really a free to play and it was a closed beta, it still sold very well in the summer. So.
Well, it's so funny because that's like, let's say like somebody came on my podcast and I was like, they're like, hey, Crap, can I help out on your podcast? And I'm like, sure, hop on here. And then like they learn the ins and outs of podcasting and then they go start Xbox Station or something. You know what I mean? Every Wednesday, yeah, the best damn podcast. You know what I mean? Like,
God damn it, Crap! You're giving away my ideas.
I know, right?
Damn.
So they literally like steal the idea from fucking PUBG and do their own thing, and it's successful. People are kind of hungry for that kind of thing. So. That's definitely interesting. Did you guys hear about the Xbox One 4K films got a lot cheaper on their digital store?
No.
Okay, so basically what happened was, look, you can do.
I want games, damn it.
I know, right? But I thought this was interesting because I guess because the 4K films on iTunes and stuff, they got lowered. Like the prices got lowered, so Microsoft
Apple's
had to
also
match.
they were also upgrading people's movies to the 4K if they had them, certain ones for free.
Yeah. Yeah, so now looking through the collections on the Xbox One S, you can see the full list of they have a full list of them. They now range from like $19.99 all the way up to what there used to be like $29.99. So they did lower the prices, and that's kind of thanks to you know, Apple. So you know that's part of the reason why I think competition is really good. You know, but just letting the people know that there is an option. I didn't even realize that you could look up 4K content on the store there. But you can just look up the option, like click Ultra HD or whatever. So, hey, yeah, cool stuff. They also got, what the hell is that?
Golly, gee willikers, doggies, 4K.
Well, look, I'm just saying, man. Like 4K stuff is cool. If you got a 4K TV, why not go with it? A lot of that stuff. Yeah, Pub Jesus, dude. I'm telling you. Like, look, even like movies have HDR and stuff now too. So, you know, just.
Yeah, they're porting a lot of older movies to 4K as well. So.
Yeah,
Terminator 2 just
like
got ported.
Kick-Ass 1, I think, just came out in 4K.
What is that?
Kick-Ass.
Oh, okay, yeah, I like that movie. I thought that was
Terminator 2. They just got one.
Never seen
the Dark Knight trilogy. That film was shot.
Whoa, hold on.
What?
Crap, did you just say you've never seen
I've never
Terminator 2?
seen it.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
it's weird.
Crap,
right?
I know you and I are
Fraud.
similar in age, my friend.
I know, but I've never seen it. I've never seen Terminator 1 or 2 or
You
any
need to
Terminator.
see it.
Terminator
Somebody
1.
cut Crap Mike for that bullshit right now.
Hey, the Dark Knight trilogy was shot in 6K. They're bringing that to 4K Blu-ray as well.
You know what was
That is-
weird? That fucking the third one in that trilogy switches from like I know I wasn't a big fan. Switches from widescreen to full screen.
The aspect ratio changes.
The reason why that happens is because the one where it's not full screen, where it's widescreen, those are the shots that they use the IMAX film on.
Yeah.
You've only been to Pornhub. I was molded by it.
Dude, when I first heard his voice in the theater, right, Bane's voice, I look over at Hellheimer and we started laughing because I was like,
Yeah.
He's like,
I
hey,
was
can you
what the fuck is this?
Swear to me.
Swear to me. Yeah, like I
hear me?
Yeah, I was like, this.
Yes, Bane, we hear you.
Said I was born in the dark.
How do you eat, Bane?
When PlayStation 4 Pro comes out, then you have 4K.
It's starting to sound like Sean Connery does Bane.
He does. I told Hellheimer, I was like, is he doing a Sean Connery impersonation? You expect me to talk?
I will break you.
Suck it, Trebek.
Oh, Roofy.
Yeah, fucking Trebek.
Yeah, imagine having Bane on the podcast.
Oh my god, dude! Like,
Is there any topics
I
on
would
this
be dead.
show? Crap?
what's that?
Are there any topics on this show?
Oh, well, yeah,
No, there's no topics. This
Yeah,
bitch is
there's
2
no
hours.
topics.
You just let it
Yeah.
run wild.
Yeah, it runs off the rails. Yeah, we did hit a lot of the topics. And we'll do some outros now. Dealer, what do you got going on? I know you did RDX yesterday.
Yeah, we did do Real Dealio Xbox podcast. Please check that out on the channel. Also did a video today. Check that out. Trying to get things back up to speed on the channel. Last week I died, and now
Shit, you
things
died
are
and
good.
back.
So,
Oh, man.
yeah,
Got a
thanks
second
thanks for showing up to the podcast. Hit that like button and be sure and check out my channel.
Yeah.
Dealer, that's where the real frauds is at, right?
Yeah,
The frog.
the frogs.
Frog. Hellhammer, what do you got going on?
Not too much. Be back on here next week. Otherwise, you can find me on Twitter at XXHellhammer, on Xbox Live, XX Space Hellhammer.
Hell yeah. Nukem, no chills. What do you got going on?
But before Noof gets on here, Crap, I just wanted to tell you that I'm really disappointed that you haven't seen my best movie ever, Terminator 2. It's back in the day when I was rock solid and I didn't have saggy boobs. So come on, get out here and do it. Go watch the movie. I'll come and get you.
Okay, I'll watch Terminator 2, man. Don't
You
worry.
really should. Aside from some of the hair and you know, the kids and stuff, like that game looks, or that movie looks like it could be made today.
Fucking Budnick from Salute Your Shorts is in it.
And they making another one too?
Oh my gosh, you just dated all of us.
They are.
Well,
dated
yeah, they're going to do a
myself.
new Terminator because James Cameron's coming back as producer. Apparently, Linda Hamilton's actually going to go back and reprise her role. And I think they're also bringing out.
For Christ's sakes.
She's
Fuck you,
probably,
Joe.
probably in her 50s.
Yeah, that's right. The only thing that's coming to get them is like, you know, is
Fucking
death. It won't be a
Alzheimer's.
Terminator. It'll be death with a casket on his shoulder.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay, we also we've got Colt Eastwood, man. What do you got going on?
I just put out a video yesterday that is basically a Microsoft commercial that they should be putting out. It's called "Why Should You Buy an Xbox One X?" and it's kind of about if you should upgrade or should you get one of these things. This is a beast. And so in a month, guys, we're going to hear it'll be indisputable and unavoidable that the Xbox is really what it was promised to be.
Clock's
And there's
ticking.
no way
Sony.
around it, man. It's awesome.
TikTok.
TikTok. Yeah.
If you haven't checked out my channel and you weren't super annoyed by anything I said tonight, you know, I'm at Colt Eastwood on YouTube and I'm on Twitter all the time just talking to people and being a moron, obviously, but whatever.
Yeah, you actually talk to trolls a lot more than me, man. I just block.
Yeah, you waste your time with those fuck faces.
Yeah, dealers like smacking me around. Would you stop it? I'm like, well, I almost got him. I'm going to convert him.
No, you're not.
You're not going to convert them.
Just show
You know what? Funny, I get
PlayStation bomb, blow your fucking house up.
I get these snares like some of the, hey Colt, what do you think of this? I'm like, yeah, that's a pretty cool idea. It's like, yeah, you know, Xbox is useless.
Yeah, I just want to let you know, Colt Eastwood, I'm a complete fanboy and can't accept the fact that you prefer something different or have a different opinion. But thanks for talking to me for 6 days on Twitter, Colt.
Like, goodness.
And we've got Chris Steele. What do you got going on, bro?
Oh boy, I'm a busy guy lately. I just launched a new podcast with my friend, the Creep Queen. It's called Double Penetration Podcast. It's like a relationship. Yeah. You know, we're doing a bit of a relationship podcast.
Oh,
yeah, you know, we're gonna help some people. We help some people out now. You can find us on iTunes.
Sex positions or relationships?
Everything.
Oh shit! Damn.
So check out our website.
Cletus needs a guest spot.
Website too.
You got a website, doublepodcast.com. Go and it's Double Penetration Podcast on iTunes, and I got my podcast, the Chris Steele Program, talking all sorts of nonsense. And
He has a real
You get a lot of traffic just from that name, man.
Hey,
one more thing too. You can hear me on Big Gamer Small Talk.
Yeah, Big Gamer Small Talk with Steele.
Maybe you should have
Big
called
Gamer,
that
Small Cock.
podcast Hard as Steel Show.
Yeah, he actually like his podcast is with the porn star. So I mean,
That's
Nice.
right.
Nice.
Can't beat
yeah.
that.
But she just
Exactly. And we've got Def Jam Bam. What's up, bro? What do you got going on?
Oh, I'm good, man. Hey, y'all know where to catch me. Twitter, Xbox Live, Def Jam Bam, all spaces. Once again, I want to thank Crap for inviting me on Xbox Nation
For sure.
and everybody on this amazing panel. It was good.
Hey, we
having
want
fun
to
with
say
y'all.
thanks to you, man, because you're always out there supporting our shit, bro. So we do appreciate it.
Oh yeah,
Hell
man,
yeah.
no problem. I love supporting great people, you know, who put the truth out there. But y'all
Hell
also
yeah, dude.
y'all frauds on the low. We just, you know, y'all frauds
We
on the
do
low.
appreciate it.
Got love for y'all, though. Got love for y'all.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. Appreciate you coming on here. And we'll catch all you guys later, man. Thank you, guys. Mooch will be back next week. So thanks
Hey, you
for
didn't ask
watching.
Hellhammer what he was doing, did you?
I did, and
Oh,
he
he
said,
did,
I'll
man.
be back here next year.
Oh,
next
shit.
week.
Not much.
I'll have a video on tomorrow.
I'll listen to some Metallica, and then we'll do something. I don't know. So it'll be
I'm
fun.
going to sleep.
It'll be, yes, I'm going to sleep,
Take a
and
nap.
might play with my cat. And then other than that,
Play some
nothing.
VR. Like,
VR.
whoa!
I'm not the one who's addicted to VR like Crapgamer.
I wouldn't say addicted, but yeah.
Oh yeah, you own almost every VR-enabled game on
I
PlayStation.
do, but still, that's just because
You know
I
more
support
VR
them.
games than the biggest PSVR.
Probably. That's the funny part, right? They consider me
Right,
the
who would've
biggest,
thought?
PlayStation hater or whatever, but it's like I have more games than they do, so it's crazy. So
I just mentioned PS4 Pro in today's video, and someone's like, "Why do you mention PS4 Pro?" Because I fucking want to. And if you're gonna get mad because of an absolute fact, then that's your own problem.
Yeah. Hey, that's a you problem, as Mooch would say. And with that, we'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.